Well, hey everybody, good evening. How are you today? I thought that I would start doing a little mining stream tonight. Tuesday night, beautiful day in northern Michigan, and so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So, how are you this evening? I adjusted the audio just a touch regarding the game audio. I noticed it was a touch quiet in my last stream, and I didn't like that. So, yeah, I'm going to monitor it just a little bit, but let me know if it seems like the balance is good or not. So that would be helpful. And I am going to go ahead and get started here. So we're going to do a bit of a pre-flight here. And I will take a look at the prospector that I have. I think this one is the stealth one here, and we'll have to see here in just a sec. And we're going to use prospector 2. And that's got the Rush drive, and it's got the FLTRXL, and a couple brands, and that's exactly what we want to use tonight. So we'll go ahead and get started.
Welcome
yeah, we'll just go
to
ahead
the
and
ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
pull the second
Vehicle
prospector.
selected.
And
Stand by.
Jazzy Cat, how are you? Good afternoon. How
Your
have you been,
vehicle has
Jazzy?
been
Nice to
delivered
see
the
you.
location.
Very nice to see you. We're going to head over to pad 2 and get started this evening. What's happening, Jazzy? Jazzy, let me know if the audio's, like if you can hear the game audio just a little bit anyways. I noticed it was a touch too low in my last stream, the game audio, so trying to get that back on track. I was messing around with it a little bit, and I kind of probably end up turning it down just a touch too low. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and head on over to Lyria and see if we can't find something to put the mining lasers on here. I can't believe it's almost Fleet Week. That's going to be awesome. Thank you. That's awesome. That makes me happy. I can't believe it's going to be Fleet Week. I'm really excited about Fleet Week. It's going to be interesting. I actually have next week off of work, so I'm going to be streaming quite a bit. I think I'm going to actually try and stream almost every day for a little while. You know, at least the first part of the stream, like go to Orison and look at what's happening type of thing. And then go mining after that. So, you know, we might be doing some mining on the other side of the verse, more over in the Crusader area. Maybe some Aaron Halo mining or something next week. We'll have to see how that goes. So, Gravedigger just had 3 unicorns today. My first one since getting my prospector. Man, Grave, yeah, that's awesome, man. That's so good. I love it when you get unis, man. That's just it's such a beautiful thing, and you know, when you start kind of, you know, that just becomes more regular. That is really, really, really cool, man. Congratulations. Yeah, that's fantastic. So off we go. We're just going to do the Lyria thing that we normally do to get this stream started today. And we are going to just see how it goes. I mean, play it by ear. At least a run or two over at Lyria, and we'll go from there. So, I noticed lots of people are streaming today. Jack is streaming, Jack Axton, of course, and Star Streams is streaming. And hey, 14, how are you, man? Nice to see you, sir. How's it going? Ace Hambone, how are you, sir? Good evening. Nice to see you, Ace. Yeah, welcome aboard, guys, for sure. It's awesome. So I am sipping a nice batch of water here, and you know, I already had a couple of cups of Java earlier, so I'm amped up, man. I'm ready to do a little mining and talk a little Fleet Week a little bit. I'm really starting to get excited about Fleet Week. It's going to be interesting, and I'm really starting to think about my mind's starting to kind of bend towards 3.18 when it comes to the salvage stuff and the and also the cargo refactor. Oh my stars, you know, it'll be interesting to see if the cargo refactor happens. Of course, we have 3.717.1 coming up, and that's the Scorpius. And I know people have been talking about the Scorpius's balance a little bit, and rightfully so. I mean, it seems like it's a pretty mean ship. And already you've heard SIG just basically say they're going to dial it back a little bit. Maybe it's not going to be as maneuverable as it currently is. Balance passes happen for sure. And so it'll be interesting to see. And there's a little bit of an ongoing debate I noticed on Spectrum about being able to slave the turrets and that type of thing. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. I mean, you know, I honestly think the cool thing about the Scorpius is is when you have a really good, you know, like a guy in a turret and a really good pilot together. Like, that's the magic combination there. I doubt very seriously they're going to start, you know, doing a lot of slaving with the stuff, but who knows? I mean, I'm okay with it either way. But it is interesting to see kind of how the community is reacting to that, just a touch or whatever, and of course, you know, it's I think it's a very reasonable, you know, discussion. Obviously, you know, whether or not you're going to be able to slave those turrets. I mean, that's 8 size 3 guns, though. That's an awful lot of firepower. So, I see elsewhere over there. Let's see if there's. Hey, there's Loveridge right down there. Let's go hit Loveridge. That looks good. We'll spool up the drive and head down that way. So yeah, I think I am gonna do some streaming. Like next week, I have it off, and I'm gonna stream like crazy. I think, you know, I'm gonna really give the streaming channel, some extra love, and I'm gonna. There's a couple of projects that I have going on right now that I really wanted to do better at already, which is Stealth Prospector project. I'm going to give that some love, and I'm really going to just do a ton of streaming next week. So I'm really excited about that. You know, I've already kind of got some of the family members are on board here at the house, and yeah, that's going to be great. And I do have a couple of, you know, I have several weeks off coming up this summer, so that's going to be fun. I think I'm going to really enjoy that. But for sure, I'm actually going to, you know, when I stream, I'm going to take walks around the event and just kind of give my opinion every day a little bit, and just kind of check out new things and see what's happening, and you know, see how many frames we can lose in Orison for sure. You know, and do that kind of a thing. So, beautiful. All right, so we're kind of doing our thing here, what we normally do, which is kind of switch over to mouse and keyboard. At some point here, I'm going to roll this V-scan back. We're going to kind of do one of these. And you can see we got lots of opportunities already off the bat, so let's take a look and see what we got. There's a single right there. And a single rock right there. And you can see we're really starting to kind of get in the hang, you know, of kind of the scanning mechanic. I mean, that's starting to get a little easier. There's a single rock there. We're just checking out our different opportunities that we have here. That's 13 cam. That might be a bridge too far. Let's move in on that one. We're going to need to be, probably need to be closer to about 12.2 to get that one. See, there's the 12 right there, and I wasn't right on it when I scanned. That's a single rock there. Kind of, once again, kind of peel back. Yeah, that one's at 10.4 now. Ooh, no. Oh, single rocket did finally ping, I was going to say. 12.4, you can see that's just a bridge too far. We're going to push that. Oh, Nate, how you doing? Nate, nice to see you. Oh, and 14 is saying that they retracted the nerf. Well, that's kind of interesting. That's cool. So they were keeping the stats for now. Interesting. That is going to be a healthy ship. I mean, that ship's got a lot of firepower. Of course, it's very obviously the X-wing vibes are for real on that thing, and that is going to be great. So, all right, we got this guy scanned. All right, so let's just kind of, start looking around to see if we can find something of mine here. Single rock there. I don't know. I think we might have already scanned this one here. Maybe a single rock there. And we'll just keep on moving. Yeah, they're keeping the stats. Ace Hambone says, it's exciting that salvage is coming. The more different types of gameplay, the better. Ace, I couldn't agree more with that. That's what I'm saying. I think there's some things that are coming that are even going to add more layers to the game, right? And one of them is the cargo refactor, and definitely one of them is going to be salvage. I could not agree more. I think, I'm just excited about that stuff. I think it's, anytime we can add, gameplay or whatever, looking up there to see what I see. That's probably a ship of some variety, I'm thinking. Maybe. Yeah, just keeping an eye on it. We'll just kind of watch our radar a little bit. It's probably just fine. Ah, Drax says, "Hey, Drac, how are you tonight? Nice to see you, sir." Drax says, "Could always grab a rock at random and blow chunks." That's exactly right, can do. Cag Lance gives a salute. How you doing, Cag? Nice to see you tonight. Nate says, "Is there enough time to refine rocks before the next patch?" You know, I don't know. I want to say that I guess I'm not 100% sure on the 17.1 patch when it may drop. So it's an excellent question. I don't think that it's going to drop. Like, I mean, obviously it's probably going to drop, if I'm not mistaken, maybe on Friday. Is that what everybody kind of thinks? Is that you know, because if it is dropping Friday, then yeah, you're going to want to think about making sure that you have your refining jobs kind of in order. Now, I truly just don't remember when we went from 16 to 16.1 if the refining jobs were wiped, but I think they were, as I recall, you guys, and I think they were, and I think that that's a very good point about the refining jobs. We're really going to need to kind of keep an eye on those. If I were to guess, there's some doublers right there. If I were to guess, I think for sure that's going to drop this week. It seemed like I was looking at something and they said that it was going to drop this week, like on Friday or that day, like something along those lines. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Drax says, what sort of price drop is there if you just sell your ore instead of refine it? Half. It's 88 a unit if you refine it, and it's, I guess these weren't doublers. They just were kind of lined up. And that can happen sometimes. Things just kind of line up. You know, it looked like doublers over this way. Yeah, it's basically half the price. So, yeah, that's definitely one of those things where you gotta... it's not to say you don't make money, because at 44 a unit is still better than anything. I mean, even that's the funny thing. I mean, even at half its value, it's still fairly worth quite a bit. Still well over 130,000 sometimes in a run. And there's a single rock. So good question, Drac, for sure. 44 instead of 88, though. Anything that's not refined is only worth about half its value. So that's what that is. But yeah, I think I probably should have did a little bit more reading. I think it is actually dropping this towards the end of this week. We're probably going to need to get our refining jobs, make sure we have those nice and cleaned up. That's a very good point that was made earlier, for sure. Let me do this. Just crank this up just a touch. Yeah, we'll just kind of keep on looking around here as we, I've almost gotten to the point now where I can kind of cruise, stay kind of moving and keep using the scanning mechanics in a pretty good way. So that's pretty exciting. Now there's a 23.8. That's got to be a ship over there, I would imagine. Brianna Joy says, "Afternoon Spacers." Hey, Brianna, how are you? Nice to see you. How have you been? I was just telling everybody next week I have off, and I'm going to be doing a bunch of streaming for Fleet Week. And so I'm excited about it. Sharp777, welcome to the channel, Sharp. How are you today? How's it going there? That's awesome. So Fleet Week, yeah. Anyways, Scorpius, looks obviously, is a main thing. And I think somebody mentioned that maybe the Vulture's going to be on display. Ooh, hey, that's some doublers, you guys. I think it is doublers. Alright, now that's funny. They didn't necessarily show up, I don't think, on my scans, but that's okay. We'll take them nonetheless. Alright, what do we got here? First rocks of the day. 30-30 here, mass, and that's just a blue cap, a 2%er. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what I was thinking. It has to drop on Friday because that's when the event starts. I knew I should have looked. It seemed like I should have looked a little closer. So I would say have your jobs cleaned up probably by Thursday. You know for sure. That's not a risk you're going to want to take. At all. So Brianna Joy says, nice to see the new area of Orison. Don't want to spoil it. It's going to be, yeah, that is interesting. It looks like they've added some, quite a bit of real estate there for the event. It's almost like they flew in some more of those big platforms or something. That is really kind of cool. I agree with that 100%. I can actually see that rock. That's funny. That's a single rock right there. And that's a single rock right there. We'll kind of keep moving. I can see that single over there. And that's a single rock right there. Yeah, I don't want to necessarily spoil it either. I mean, I haven't been over I haven't done any 17.1 PTU stuff at all. I haven't done any of that. And I usually am, like it was hard for me. Like I was really trying to not spoil it in 17, but then the mining gadgets just kind of, I'm like, okay, I've got to do that. I've got to test the mining gadgets. So that kind of got me. 17.1, with it having a little bit more, combat orientated stuff, it's a little easier for me to stay out of the PTU. So there's that stuff. It's either some doublers right there or some really good lined up stuff. So let's go ahead and check that out. But yeah, I'm very interested. I mean, and of course it's always fun to see the big ships, the Bengal and the Javelin, and doing. I don't know if you guys didn't do that Javelin tour before. If you happen to get on a good server when it's working good, it's very interesting. Super interesting for sure. A. Sambone says, I hear soon that fuel will differ in price from station to station. Supply and demand dictating the price. Should this help the Starfarer stay busy? It's going to be interesting. I mean, the one thing I will say is right now it's really hard to justify the Starfarer in a way because you'd really think that you might be, people may not be on the up and up and they may be looking to kind of pirate you a little bit. So it's going to be very interesting. I think the age of the Starfarer is really going to begin with Pyro, but we'll have to see. Maybe there is going to be some situations where where on like near Crusader the gas is really expensive and you can go pick up some at Hurston and it's less and you can turn a profit. You'd have to be able to turn a healthy profit to kind of mitigate the risk, I think. Or at least offset the risk some. So, and filling up those tanks is it's not inexpensive. I mean, and I don't really fret about money too much in this game, but it's if you go fill up all those tanks and you put a lot of Quantanium in them, you will have a few bucks into it for sure. And Brianna's saying 3.17.1 is really going to help the stability. I hope so. I mean, anytime they don't have the PTU and the PU going at the same time, I think the stability is better. I definitely have noticed, and I don't think it should come as a shocker to anybody. I've noticed a trend when the PTU is running, the PU does have more 30Ks. It does have less stability. So just in general, getting the patch out is not necessarily a bad thing. I think for sure. Alright, so we're over here on Lyrian. We're just kind of doing our thing, just kind of cruising along, using the new scanning mechanic where necessary. And normally if you start pinging something like that, you don't out there, it finally did give up a single. I was going to say, lots of times those are gems. They can be. If for some reason they're not giving up a scan at all. Brianna says that this should already be there with Quanta dictating the price of fuel. Yeah, I mean, there's no question that that fueling is in an interesting place right now with Quanta, for sure. I mean, I know, tonight some of the industry guys and I are going to be doing a little bit of refueling training. We're just going to kind of keep trying to learn the kind of the refueling meta and making sure we're all comfortable with the UI and just kind of how to guide ships in. And one thing I will say for anybody who's doing a little bit of refueling it will really surprise. Number one, you always want to have the boom out first. Don't, have a ship approach before you have the boom arm out. That's the best, one of the best tips I can give you. Number two, don't be surprised, like if it's a hammerhead or an M2 or a C2, how incredibly far behind, it's like a strange amount behind the Starfarer that you have to line up for your run. It's really weird. So here's a situation where we've got kind of a few here, right? I'm going to turn this back down to 90. And then we're going to start pinging just kind of, you see here, I see how we did the kind of these more active pings. There was a lot of opportunities here, so I thought we would just kind of ping over this way. This is a little bit more of a passive ping style here. Brianna says, as of 3.17, it's supposed to be. I've had a very expensive repair bills and gone elsewhere to see if it was cheaper. That's interesting, for sure. And Mr. Azai says, 14 says, a form of Quanta would be handling fuel, store, and cargo prices. Yes, absolutely. It's, it's going to be, it's just, it's just, at some point, it's going to be really, really, really interesting how some of these things are going to go. And of course, Quanta, I know that there are some situations where, Quanta has definitely, I don't know if that's doublers or not. We'll have to go look at those. They look like they're a little far apart. And so, Quanta's very, very interesting, for sure. I mean, as far as the price of fuel's been very much fluctuating. Yeah, that's just an obsidian one. That's what it looked like to me. Let me just kind of crank these guys down and let's take a look out at that distance. 10.6 away. A couple of single rocks right there. We'll just keep moving here. Opportunity marker out there at 11.4. Single rock. So yeah, anyways, the one thing I will say is I am hoping that they get a little more consistent about being able to fill up the Starfarer. I know, a couple of times that we had the Starfarer out, we couldn't necessarily always get it refueled itself. So, that particular thing is, I'm hoping, as the server stability kind of evens itself out, that that kind of thing works itself out as well. Pyro, good evening. How you doing, Pyro? Nice to see you, sir. Welcome to the channel. Definitely nice to see you, Pyro. What's been happening? My day has been fantastic, by the way, so far. I have nothing to complain about, and we're out here doing some mining tonight. So, just taking it easy, kind of just chit-chatting about, just Fleet Week that's coming, and talking about the Scorpius a little bit, and 3.17.1 in general. And, a little bit about Orison, I suppose, just because that's kind of interesting how that's going down. And, and then, of course, the Vulture, you guys. It's going to be interesting. I think that's going to be a fun ship to kind of take a look at. Definitely expecting that one. Now, that's interesting right there. Definitely expecting that one in, in 3.18. Pyro says, not too much. Been flying around looting Rex for subscriber loot. Yeah, it seems like Mr. Zyre 14 on the channel here, he sent me kind of this, this, I think he kind of marks where those things are. I don't know if this is, nope, it's Afra. I was just kind of curious. Kind of marks where those things are at, you know what I mean? And that, I definitely, I had heard, by the way, you guys, and I don't know if anybody can confirm this. Somebody told me there's some purple, like a purple aerial armor that's doublers for sure, I think they're purple aerial armor. And of course, you know me, I love the aerial armor, so I'm just kind of curious if there is a purple set that's been showing up. Full set of Artimex Armor, and I think it's my favorite visually. Oh, the Artimex. I don't know that I've seen that. Brianna Joy says, Duwu says, how can you tell the range if there's more than one rock? Well, that's a difficult thing. I mean, because it definitely can be a thing where where you honestly you kind of can't, right? If there's a couple of lined up there, sometimes it's just the noise of the first scan is picking up the second scan. Hey, Chris Bates, what up, my peeps? Yeah, so you don't always know exactly how far the second rock is out because the first rock may be kind of blocking it, so to speak. There's a couple doublers. We're going to check these guys out for sure. And so that's a great question, Dulu. I hope that answers your question. You can't. The long and short of it is you can't always know, especially like if two rocks are lined up over a distance, what the distance of the second rock is. You know, you're just kind of getting the noise from the first one. And so Brianna Joy says Lyria is almost Halo levels of Quantanium tonight. Yeah, it's been quiet so far. Drax says he's mining. He can't be unhappy. Yeah, I'm never unhappy. I'm mining. It's exactly right. Pyro found a full set of Artimex Armor. Yeah, that Artimex, I need to check that out. Duo says also good evening. Good evening, Duo, for sure. Pyro says that is very true, and Chris came on board. And then Brianna Joy says there's going to be new armor during the event on Orison to loot. Oh, that's interesting. I am interested in, obviously, the new armor, for sure. Caglass says, I want Sublime Green. I think, Cag, you're saying like a Sublime Green arrow set, if I'm not mistaken. I think that would be fantastic. I definitely would like to see, you know, like I said, whether or not they have this quote-unquote, this purplish set. Not the purple's my favorite color or anything by any stretch of the imagination, but just, you know, different colors of arrow. I'm all for it. Ace Hambone says, I hope 3.17.1 improves the stability. I think that, Ace, I think that we're all thinking it's going to, if not even just for the reason that it's, you know, the PTU is not going to be running at the same time as the PU, which usually does good. Duo says it's not quite what I meant. I mean, can you tell if there's more than one? Oh yeah, you absolutely can tell if there's more than one rock at a distance. And I'll show. You'll see that, Duo, for sure. If I ever ping doublers or something, you'll know it. Or especially the first cluster I ping, it will just light up like a Christmas tree out there at the end of the scans. So yes, you absolutely can tell. You know, kind of by the pings you get back, how many diamond icons are out there, whether or not it is a bunch of rocks or just one or two or whatever. So hopefully I'll get you an example of that. But if you, yeah, I mean, there's lots and lots and lots of times where you'll see examples of that as we kind of do some mining and we come across the cluster. Lots of times we're going to drive towards that, you know, you can see it's like a single rock, and I call it a lot. Right there's doublers. You know, you can see, right, that's for sure, like two lit up there. But if it's more than two, or if you're in range of more than two, it will be more, right? So, Rambo Mims, hey, Rambo, how have you been? It's been a minute. Rambo says, hey, I had a 0 times 1007 error for the last 24 hours or so. It's such a pain. Finally got it fixed by installing a VPN. How are you? Yeah, I don't know what that error is, Rambo, at all. You know, Caglass says, yeah, Caglass definitely meant like a Sublime Green kind of, a Sublime Green arrow set. That's cool. Mr. Zai says, tons of new armor for the event. Oh my goodness, you guys. I did not know that, and I'm excited about it. So that's really cool. That's awesome. And Brianna Joy says, I know I'm excited. Duo says, great to know. I've been flying around checking visually. Oh no, Duo, no, you don't. The old meta on Lyria, where you used to kind of fly around and do the visuals, you don't have to do those now, right? You can definitely just do, you know, kind of this ping method that I'm doing now, right? You want to change your scan angle and change your focus, but you know, you can. There they are. I don't know if you've seen that right there, dude. That's a perfect example. That's a cluster. That cluster was at 7,000. And you know on Lyria, if it's anything more than... And so we've got these doublers that we're coming up on. And then I'll ping that cluster again, okay? Just so you can see it. I mean, it's a really good thing for you to learn, Duo, for sure. So I don't mind demonstrating it again. And this is the power... Like, you know, I know when 317 first went live, a lot of us were just kind of like, hey, I wonder what's going on here. But watch once again the power of this method, right? So... I'm going to just go ahead. I'm putting myself in scanning mode. I've got my focus all the way back and my scan angle all the way back. So I get a ping marker over there, right? well, there's, you know, several or whatever. But if I kind of focus this down and I rescan, you can see, ba-boom, there's just a bunch of them going off there, like a Christmas tree. And, you know, and that way, you know, there's a cluster over there. And, you know, these may be doublers. They may not be. I think that these may be a little too far apart from each other. But the most important thing over here is this. There's a cluster over here. And so we want to go over here to this cluster and take a look. Because that's going to be all Quantanium stuff. So, yeah, I hope that helps. I mean, there's definitely a little bit of a meta to it now. And so we're just going to kind of see how it goes. You can see over there, look. And this is me doing a kind of a passive ping too. If you look, I've got the scan angle set to about 90, and I've got the focus all the way out, and it'll ping stuff way out in front of you. So yeah, paying attention, learning. Good, dude. That's exactly why we do this. Why I do this mining stream all the time is to, you know, to show you guys kind of the meta when it comes to this kind of stuff. And I didn't learn, you know, somebody else kind of figured out that this was the scanning thing. But, you know, it's one of those things where I've gotten really comfortable with it, and I feel very good about sharing it as well. And I just want you to find all the rocks that I don't. For sure. Brianna Joy says, have you tried any of it, Mr. Azai? Sig has done a pretty good job of balancing it, even against ships. Oh, I think the ski mask with moving up the visuals is my favorite so far. I'll be buying. Oh, that's interesting. Ace Hambo says, what's the distance for identifying rocks with a 2-degree ping scan? 12.2, Ace. You can actually, at 12.5 you won't, at 12.2 you will. So it's 12.2 is where I have found where it consistently, if it's supposed to go off, it will. So that's you know, or, you know, it's not Soul says 12. I mean, it's right in that, you know, that wheelhouse, but it's 12.2. You can scan them just a touch over 12. For sure. So far, none of these rocks have been very good. And that's okay. Oh, my stars. 3 more to scan here. I'm just kind of looking at that. That may not necessarily be a terrible rock. Let's go look at this one a little closer. All right. That's going to be a 16%er. So not what we're looking for exactly. That's not going to be anything. Yeah, I don't think any of this stuff was worth it down here. You can tell just kind of by the green wedge how whether or not any of these are worth it. None of those were. This rock here is probably still only going to be like a 15 or 16%er. I'd have to guess. Just climbing in on it. So Pyro says, bit off topic, but how do you make your coffee? Milk first or last? I actually do the cream after. So you know, I definitely make the coffee first and then put the cream in. I don't dump the coffee into the cream. So that's a great question. Love it. Yeah, and there's, you know, coffee's an art form for sure. So yeah, there's a, you know, here's something out at 11.6. You know, single rock. That was a single rock there. So yeah, I scanned that whole cluster, and it wasn't great. So there was nothing in that. I mean, and that's not the, you know, I always like to make the joke. That's not the first cluster I've drove away from, and it won't be the last. You know, it's just it happens sometimes. Sometimes, like I think in my last stream on Saturday, at least the first. There's another cluster, you guys. At least the first half of it started out with really good 3 unis in a row, 3 uni runs in a row, just fantastic, right? Of course, the rest of it got a little sideways, but yeah, I mean, you guys can check that out for sure. Mr. Zai says, not yet. I kind of want to be a surprise and tackle it with word makes. I look, yeah, that's one of the things that we've really, you know, one of the things I think in 14 would agree, Mr. Zai would agree. Because they finally allow you to loot things by shooting people, we have definitely noticed an uptick in a good way of people who want to come FPS. People who want to do marine stuff, because doing marine stuff you can make money at now. Clearing bunkers, you get cool loot, and it's the game's just gotten, you know, infinitely better, you know, because of that. I mean, it's just a lot cooler game than it used to be, for sure, just for that one very reason. That's 17%. That's still not what we're looking for, you guys. Brianna says, that's awesome. I solo play 99% of the time. I don't mind checking out the newest, the newest and greatest. Yeah, like, Brianna, I also, for about maybe the first 6 months I played, for sure, just did what you're saying, just kind of soloed myself. Until you find a good group that just kind of makes sense for you. And I mean, we have a wonderful group of folks that make up the Spectre fleet, for sure. Nate says, I stole some of the kids' chocolate milk the other morning. It's so funny, Nate. I'll tell you a quick story. That's so funny. The kids were eating, what was that stuff called? It's like cinnamon and sugar, cinnamon toast crunch. The kids were eating cinnamon toast crunch one day, and I'm like, man, I should use some of that cinnamon toast crunch milk for. This is a 40-40, you guys. This is a nice rock. I should use some of that cinnamon toast crunch milk for my coffee. And then I noticed they have cinnamon toast. They actually make that stuff. Cinnamon Toast Crunch Creamer, It's like, hey, what the heck? That's just weird. Chris Bates, is this your first run? I got in late. Yes, Chris, I just came out delirious, was just kind of chatting, and I am. It's just my first run tonight. Not Soulkeeper, welcome to the channel. How are you, sir? Great question. Any specific areas on Lyria that you like to start? No. Anywhere on Lyria is as good as another, I found. I like the orphanage. I like... I like a couple of places, for whatever reason. I tend to do maybe a touch luckier around the orphanage. But honestly, any place on Lyria is just fine. Caglaz says, I have dark chocolate cocoa mix for my coffee. And sometimes, some Irish cream. Absolutely, Irish cream is an excellent way to drink coffee, for sure. Yeah, this is a nice rock, you guys. This is a 40-40. Mr. Azai says, if you're looking to play with a group, we have plenty of spots open. Yes, absolutely. Like I said, we have an awesome organization with really excellent fighter pilots, some fantastic, we really have had, like I said, an awesome influx of FPS players. Of course, we have awesome mining players, for sure. Leos, how are you, Leos? A Sambone says, are we using a mining gadget for this rock? No, we won't, because it's only a 40-40. This is kind of an easy break just with the stock stuff. So I definitely won't need to break this 40-40. We won't need anything. We'll kind of lean on our brants on the other breaks, but in this rock right here is 32 SCU, right around that, a little more than that, probably 34 SCU if I were to use QuantCalc. So it depends on how it breaks. It doesn't always break clean. So, Leos, it's good to see you. How have you been? Asam, yep, I see that, Ace. Mining gadget, I tell you, where I think the use cases for mining gadgets for the non-rented prospectors, right around that 6,500 mass rock. That 6,500 mass rock, that's a, like a 36-37%er that you would not have been able to break before. That's a really good use case for those. I mean, because then you can go out there and stick a single bore max or a wave shift on there. You're not out a ton if they happen to be unrecoverable. It's not necessarily a super challenging break either. So the mining gadgets I do enjoy having. I think that they've added a fun layer. I think their best use case though is with a rented prospector. And so I think. I'm kind of debating with myself. Like I said, next week I'm going to be streaming a ton. I am going to be streaming a lot Fleet Week stuff. But I'm also, I'm kind of half tempted to do maybe some rented prospector stuff next week too. Now, I definitely want to do a 3-day rental on the rented prospector and just kind of, do everything, including somebody mentioned, which was a really smart idea, on the last day. Rent a Cutlass Black to kind of haul with, and then just kind of, take it, run the runs in 1-to-1, just kind of enjoy, and just kind of crunch all the numbers, fuel costs, repairs, and everything and see how much in a 3-day period I could make with the rented prospector. So that way you could kind of maybe extrapolate out how long it would take you to buy a regular prospector with the rental process. A little frog in my throat. Rambo Min says, I found an 8400 mass 49%er the other day. Took 2 of us and both got a full load and then some. Yeah, that's an awesome, awesome rock. So this is a good sign, you guys. Here's 100% Quantanium. 722, that's 14 SCU right there. There's nothing in that one. So this is looking good. There's going to be nothing in this one. So this thing broke clean. This broke really clean. So that's 14 SCU right there. There's going to be probably another, you know, maybe another hundo here somewhere. Okay, and so there's 12 SCU, so that's 26 SCU right there. And then there's going to be some other ones that are probably going to have, a, you know, so that's not going to have anything. This one down here, what does this have? It is got a nice percentage of 90, and I'm not expecting a whole lot in this one, but maybe some. Nope, not at all. Cool. And so Brianna Joyce says, agree the gadgets will lie to be more profitable in a rented prospector. I think that's exactly the use case for it, Brianna, for sure. Not Soul Keeper says, ever blow yourself up with a laggy server? Heck yeah, man. I mean, I've been mining for 1.5 years in Star Citizen. I guarantee you I've blown myself up a couple times with laggy servers. Absolutely not, Soul. Jazzy Cat says, I have the duplicate shit bug, and it is annoying. Do I do a character reset now, or maybe wait for the patch? You know, that's a good question. What do you think about that, 14? I think that probably, first of all, there's nothing ever wrong with doing a character reset, as long as you understand kind of what you're in for with it. I don't necessarily think that, there's anything wrong with doing a character reset now, but you certainly could wait, too. I mean, it is a good question. I suppose, I guess, how much it is annoying you. If it's annoying you a lot, I think waiting till Friday might be a long wait. So, character resets don't take a ton of time. But some of that work you're already going to be doing, on Friday, though. So I'm going to push, right? I'm trying to get this into the green before I'm about 30 seconds. It's going to be very easy to do. Now I want to just kind of roll back. I'm trying to break 2 rocks with 1 brand consumable. And I fell out there for a sec, so that wasn't great. But I think we're in good shape now. I can move my head back to the... I lost 3.15... Gravedigger says I lost 3.5 mil to a reset Saturday. Ouch! That is crazy, Grave, for sure. Macedon says, Jazzy, it made mine worse. I have now 15 Cuddy Black, 6 arrows, and 2 prospectors. Holy mackerel, Maz. I had no idea that was happening. That is crazy, man. Alright, so we broke that one now, and then we've got this guy down here to break at this 90%er. And so we'll see how this goes. This is a small mass rock. We'll definitely burn a Brant if we have to. Raphael is asking, is this the planet Lyria? Yes, Raphael, for sure. And, well, Raphael, welcome to the channel. How are you today? I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you're having a lovely day. Yes, welcome to the channel. And, yep, we're absolutely on Lyria. Gravedigger says, I wouldn't trust it until after the patch. Fair enough. I think that that's reasonable. I had no idea. It sounds to me like the consensus is wait. Mastodon says, if only you could sell them back. Yeah. Then everybody could buy their 890 jumps just with their 39 prospectors that they sold. Or 39 cuddies or whatever. Pyro says, I actually managed to duplicate my prospector earlier. Hey man, I'd like to hear that. With a rented freelancer last week. That's hilarious. So we know that these rocks down here that we've broke are all going to be hundos, but we're still going to be somewhat discerning with the laser. So let's go ahead and we'll begin scooping here. I mean, we do have an opportunity here to get a unicorn, and so that's what we're going to shoot for. We're not going to be in a hurry. We have plenty of time, so we're just going to take our time, and we're just going to pull the stuff in and see what we get, see how we do. Alrighty. Gravedigger says, I have 8 I got to rate ROCs. That's hilarious, you guys. I have not. I have not had that bug yet myself with making multiple ship thing. I'm sure though I'll experience it at some point because everybody's been talking about it a little bit. Brandon Joy says I found that renting was bugged. Is it the rental thing that's causing that, you guys? I'm just curious about that. We had a guy blow up another guy who parked next to a rock that they were mining. Yeah, that's hilarious. I have wondered about getting a prospector and putting it, when there's a jump town one time and just loading it with just some unstable Quantanium and just kind of flying in and having people be like, oh, it's just a prospector. What could that guy do? And then parking it next to people just for laughs one time. I've never done anything like that. You get the duplicate shifts from the character reset. Oh, it's the character reset itself that's causing that. Holy crap. I did not know that. All right, so we got 20 SCU on board, and we still have some scooping to do. We're definitely going to kind of pull up, grab the rocks from. We're going to start from the side and move our way back towards it. 22 SCU. There's still, there was a 90% rock below this, so we've got to be careful. We don't want to accidentally mess up our unicorn here. Another 102 will take it. Alright, and what do we got here? 90, alright, we'll take it. Beautiful, let this rock fall down and away. Another 107 SCU here. 100%er, we'll take it. So we're starting to get up around that 30 SCU mark, which is great. We've got a couple of rocks here. We're hoping that they broke clean. Kind of aim at this one first and see how it broke. That's 100%er right there. And so we're darn close to our uni, so we just want to make sure this last scoop is clean. That's not what we're looking for. And that guy's starting to... We're just going to try and pinch the edge over here. Want to work it just right. Kick on the light there for a sec. That didn't help. I was just kind of curious if I could... Yeah, there we go. This should be a hundo right here. It is. And we did. We successfully picked up our unicorn. That's awesome. Oh, my stars. What did I do there? I left my mining late. I thought I turned it off. Yeah, I did. There we go. Let's go ahead and set Arcal 1 as our... we'll go back to the sticks here. Kind of pull up, and yeah, that's a beautiful... That is a unicorn, you guys. Now, a lot of times, and some of you guys who are veterans to the channel know, as I kind of do some of that mining, sometimes I do lose track of the chat a little bit. Raven White, welcome to the channel, Raven. How are you, sir? I heard you cannot mine Quantanium with one-day prospector. Is that right? Quantanium mining is very difficult with the rented prospector, Raven, for sure. It's difficult. It's not really the thing that you'd want to do. If you're renting the rental prospector, you're going to want to go to Aberdeen, and you're going to want to go with after Bexolite, Laranite, and Terranite, which are still very profitable. Not nearly as profitable as Quantanium, but are still fantastically profitable, and you can certainly make quite a bit of money doing that. Not Soulkeeper says, no, I've done it before without resetting. Mastodon says, I've had dupes before the reset. Yep. Jessica says, thanks for the feedback. Pyro says, been wanting to mine on Lyria recently. What's the maximum mass you can break with a prospector without needing gadgets or surges? 5,900 with a Lancet, Pyro. Now, a 5,900 will make you kind of cry. It'll take a long time to build the heat into it. 5,924 is the biggest rock I've ever broken with the Lancet. So somewhere around 5,500, 5,600, it starts being difficult and taking lots of time. But you can absolutely do a 5,900 Pyro. Mastodon says, I wonder if I duped at terminal. I got very impatient while it's not working, so I spammed the claim because it was... Yeah, I do the same thing, man. I start click. I just start kind of power spamming the clicks, And so I definitely can, you know, whatever state something can get into, it can happen to me too. So a couple of times a stream, and you won't hear me say it much, I do like to ask people to please like and subscribe. If you're interested, we have an awesome mining tool. It's called QuantCalc, and it's a quick way. It's a quick way for you to learn how much SCU of Quantanium is in a rock. It's in the Google Play Store. It's a $1 app. You can put in your mass and your percentage of, and you can actually just quick calculate, and it'll tell you how much SCU is in a rock. You can actually add multiple rocks doing that, so it's a really nice tool. And at least once a stream, I do like to promote it. And also, if you're interested in organization gameplay, and you don't have to just do mining stuff. We have Marines, we have medical, we have fighter groups, we have all sorts of different types of gameplay, but it is SpectreFleet.space, and there's a couple people like in the stream tonight are part of SpectreFleet. Great organization. Star Citizen is a much funner game when you find a good group of people. So I appreciate the likes and subs for sure. I don't know if you guys know this, but we're actually getting close to 1,000 subs. So I'm kind of excited. I never expected to have anywhere near 1,000 subs when I started this thing, you know, and it's enjoyable. So, anyways, lurking while I do my short honeydew list before I log in. I hear you, CAG. CAG, for sure. I, you know, chatted with my wife a little bit and said, hey, I think I'm going to do this stream while she was out and about. So, you know, well, first run of the day is a unicorn. Nothing to sneeze at there. Awesome run. Pyro says, I actually just applied to your org. That is awesome, Pyro. You know, just be patient. Either myself or two, usually two, but myself or 2 or 50. Someone will reach out to you and just kind of, we have an interview process. We just want to make sure it's a good fit for everybody. Yeah, I mean, you know, we've got plenty of room in some of our, our tertiary, organizations, squads or whatever. I know that the industry group sometimes is full, but we have ops and logistics, and we have, we'd like to break ops and logistics up a little bit. So, and everybody can go mining. It's not how, in our group, just really quickly, really, whatever squad you're in, it's just what you're doing for an hour that night. You know what I mean? For the organization, Saturday evening training type mission. There's all sorts of fun stuff to be doing all week long. We have multi-crew Mondays and some industry Thursdays, which is just like mining Thursday nights, fighter Fridays. There's all sorts of stuff to do. It's great. It's lots of fun. And we have lots and lots of new people playing right now. So it's just, I don't know, it's just a cool time for sure. Raphael says, thank you for asking how my day was. I hope your day was wonderful too. I'm mining here also with my Argo. That is awesome, Raphael. That's awesome. Ace Hambone says, a $1. I've got that much change in my pocket. Yeah, that's exactly right, Ace. Tell him. So yeah, Pyro, that's awesome. I'm so happy that you did want to come aboard for sure. It's great. So, all right, you guys, that was a very good run. We didn't even hear first alarm. We just have, while we're chatting along with you guys, we just kind of got ourselves 32 SCU, and we managed to make our first 260,000 of the night. So that's how quick it can happen. Little conversation, little fun, and off we go, So we're going to go in, we're going to store the prospector. I'm going to run this down to the refinery. I'm going to put this in the refinery, and then I'm going to come back out and make at least one more run to Lyria. We are making really good time. So, we'll have to see if we do that well again. Maybe we'll have time for even a third run. But we'll just kind of play it by ear for sure. Alrighty, let me go ahead and store the prospector.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
There we go. That guy is stored now. And yeah, we're gonna run this full 32 SCU down to the hopper. Get that thing cooking, and then go from there. So here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Click, click, click. Heading down here. So yeah, anyways, I'm so happy that Fleet Week is getting kicked off. It's, one of the 2 big events of the year. It's super fun. And next week, I think I'm going to try and stream every day if I can, Monday through Friday. Kind of like a 9 to 3. I have the week off, so it's definitely going to be one of those things I'm going to do. I'm going to start out at Orison every day and then eventually take off and do some mining. So we might be doing some mining over in Crusader or in the air in Halo. Maybe some rock mining on Daymar. We're going to probably be doing some things a little different next week than we traditionally do. And that's okay. I think it's fun to mix it up a little bit for sure. Brianna Joyce says, watch out for the elevators. You're absolutely right, Brianna. The refining elevators are one of the most dangerous things in the verse right now. And I will try and not die to them. I mean, there's no guarantee ever when you come down here. I don't know. They were, the funny thing is they were grumpy and, they were totally grumpy in the 17.2 PTU. It's one of those things that I, kind of laughed about. It's like, man, these things are killing me left and right. Alright, so there's a full 32 SCU of Quantanium. We'll do the Dynex on that guy. Confirmed Tuesday, 1 day 18. That would mean I'm hauling on Thursday. Yeah, that's about as far as I'm going to push it, you guys. So that's, yes, that's about it. That's...
Hey.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, this guy's got a helmet for me. Look at all this Pembroke. Ooh, Sunburst. Hey. Love it. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I love Pembroke stuff, by the way, you guys. And this is a Sunburst edition. This is good stuff. That's awesome. I'll take it, man. Check this out. This is I'll show you guys the Sunburst edition Pembroke. So that is the Sunburst edition. That thing is sweet. You gotta love that. I mean, that's just an awesome. That was a very nice gift. I'm not sure exactly who that was, but that was very kind of them to do that, and I love it. That's awesome. Drax says, just hoping to see the free fly will let me in without us, without system upgrades. I hope that it does as well, sir. So we take off the helmet. It's always good, you guys, to come down here in between your runs and at least grab a, grab a beverage and grab something to eat for sure. Nate says, do some hand mining in Klesher next week. I almost had to do some hand mining in Klesher on Saturday, but I got bailed out by the guys, so that's funny. That's probably not a bad idea, though. We really should one of these nights stream, like, fixing the, I probably broke animation there and stored it. Fixing the air machines in there, because you can really actually do quite well with that, as far as the merits go. Sub multi-tools in the backpack. Ooh. Let me take a look at that backpack, you guys. I'm going to sort my backpacks. Armor, utility, armor, custom backpacks. Was that U14? It was a Pembroke Sunburst backpack. I'm going to open this guy. Oh my stars, look at these, you guys. Look at how cool these things are. These are the, let me just turn this off for a second. Clear. Get rid of this filter. Yeah, these are like these are the special edition colors for the, because there's a cherry one. Can we get rid of this filter? Bloodline multi-tool. Look at that. The Harvester, the Ghost, and then a couple of black cherries. These are sweet. Thank you so much, man. I'm gonna open that one too. Look at this thing. This Argo backpack is sweet. It's just, look at that one. Well, it's like when a backpack opens a backpack, it's like one of those things. Remember in D&D, like, you don't never put the bag of holding in the bag of holding. Raphael says, I have almost an hour searching for Quantanium. Can't find it. Sorry, Raphael. Brianna Joyce says, gotta keep hydrated, depending on the levels you got. Look at these, you guys. I'm actually going to put on... I love this particular... the ghost one is just so sweet. It matches the blue set. So here, I'm going to go back to utility. I'm going to throw on one of these. So let me make sure I've got that on there. Those are awesome, sir. I just love those. I just adore those. That is just fantastic. I just cannot thank you enough. That is so cool. I love the special color multi-tools. Absolutely love them. It's so funny because the guys in the org have been so kind to me. Like they've been, you know, if they find the blue stuff, and I know you can go buy the blue stuff on Orson, but I don't like to go to Orson. Spectre Fleet, how's the stream? It's going fantastic. Thank you for asking. Yeah, backside. So let's try and not die here. If there's any way we can avoid not dying from the elevators. And once I'm gonna grab a little light here too. By the way, let's see if it's right here. Yeah, that tool is fantastic.
Could we get a fire marshal down to decom?
Kind of move forward here. Yeah, that thing is so cool. Oh my stars in heaven. I love that thing. Yeah, it's going great. So hopefully I'm not going to get killed here. Oh no, I could. I saved myself by running up against the doors. You never know. I mean, those I'm telling you, those elevators physicalize against you as they kind of ghost through you, and they absolutely destroy you. Hold on, it is so beautiful and sunny out. I've got to actually pull a drape in order to take the sun glare off the screen. So yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, it's a little chilly. I mean, it's a lower 60s in northern Michigan, but it's absolutely gorgeous today. So so we're gonna go out and do one more one more Lyria run, because I'm trying to make a few space bucks here. I mean, that's gonna be the most consistent way for me to make them. Let me go ahead and grab just one sec. We're gonna do a pre-flight here on Prospector 2. Prospector 1 I have kitted right now with stealth equipment, and so I don't I definitely am I'm using Prospector 1 right now or Prospector 2 right now more than Prospector 1. I'm doing kind of I definitely am doing a little bit of testing, and I'm not quite done with it. I've been shooting some video with a stealth Prospector. I'm going to try and make a really nice video about stealth Prospector versus regular Prospector. And I mean, the TLDR it doesn't make a whole lot of difference, but it makes some, so there isn't anything in the Argo, but I thought I had it, so why not? Yeah, I love those Argo backpacks. Thank you very much, sir. That was very kind of you. You know how much I adore those special multi-tools. And I guess you can get are you getting a lot of those? I'm assuming you're getting a lot of those out of the bunker missions for sure. Philip Hoffer, nice to see you, Philip. Good evening. Sometimes those elevators launch you inside of the geometry. Last night in Orson, I was thrown inside the shuttle platform elevators. Philip, no question about it, man. Elevators right now in Star Citizen are strangely dangerous. I mean, they are absolutely way more dangerous. Also, the other one that looks yellow is actually gold. Yeah, that gold one matches like, when you have it on the yellow armor set, it looks... Hey, what's going on here? Why is my survival estimate so odd? Why do I have a survival estimate? Do I have a helmet on? I do. It scared me a little bit. I looked down, I was like... I didn't hear myself choking, but it was just... I normally don't run out to my ship and have a survival estimate. You know what I mean? Like... So I don't know. I'm like, hey, am I dying? They don't mess around. Yeah, exactly, says Phil. Yeah, no, they are. They are uniquely dangerous in the verse right now, for sure. And so, yeah. So we went out to Lyria, you guys. We absolutely crushed it with a uni, 3,200 units, 32 SCU. I've got a helmet on, though, for sure. It acts like I don't, but I do. You know? And so, no worries either way. We're safe in our... We're safe, at least for now, in this guy. And so, yeah, I think I'm going to go back to Lyria one more time tonight, just because I think it's going to be the best opportunity for me to make a few more space bucks. And I like those. Up we go. Gear comes up. I'm going to spool up the quantum drive, and we're just going to kind of let that happen. I do have the rush drive on this one. The rush is a really nice balance between the Atlas and the VK00. Rather be traveling. It's so nice to see you tonight, Rather be. How are you? Hello, I got killed by an elevator yesterday. Wasn't very happy. Yeah, you guys, I know. I mean, the elevators, they're brutal. I get it. I mean, I totally understand what you guys are saying. So, it's one of those things for sure. That crinkling and crunching you can hear is me drinking some Ice Mountain in the background. I have some water that we normally have kind of a water delivery service. We missed our delivery, and then I was lazy about going over to pick up some more water. So I'm just drinking I'm banging on a couple of Ice Mountains here. So if you hear that crinkle and you wonder what's going on, that's what it is. Brianna Joy says, I think elevators have the highest kill count. Yeah, they do. I mean, it's no question about it. Either directly or indirectly, the number of times I blindly stepped, into the abyss. Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, it's so funny because, like, as soon as the elevator's open, sometimes you go to run in there, but it's like you notice it's just like a black void as you're doing it. You're like, oh no, darn it. Then you fall through. Yeah, it's terrible. They're also, like, they ghost through you. But they used to kind of ghost through you, but you could see them. But now they're actually physicalizing, where they're slamming into you and leaving you kind of bloody and bruised. And they were doing that in the PTU as well. And it's never not funny, but it can be frustrating when you get killed by them. It's always funny. Yeah, Nate, that's an excellent question. Nate's asking, hey, did you test the stealth build to see if it's making you more hidden? That's what I'm in the process of doing, Nate. I got all stealth components, and I'm just trying out like the stealth build. Prospector to see if it makes much of a difference. Right now it doesn't seem like it does, but we're still doing some testing. Bronson, welcome to the channel, Bronson. Bronson says, I got killed more times placing the stupid mining gadgets. Yeah, Bronson, that can be dangerous too, I've heard. I've actually placed them all successfully. They haven't killed me yet, but I definitely have heard that before. Mr. Zai says, yeah, I collect them from the bunker specifically for you. That's awesome, 14. I truly appreciate it, sir. Pyro says, I swear I always miss the shuttle by 1 or 2 seconds. Yeah, you always get that kind of the door closed, the shh, as you're running up there. I know what you mean, Pyro. It happens. Brianna Joy says, I have learned to pause for just a second. Yes, I have too, Brianna. Like, I definitely have learned to pause for just a second when it comes to going into the elevators. I very rarely run into the black void and die now. I'm not saying that I don't at all, ever. But, for the most part, I've gotten out of the habit of those things. That's the thing. That's one of the weird things about Star Citizen is you kind of learn, like, this can kill you or that can kill you or, it's kind of death by 1,000 cuts, so you always try and just maximize the time that you're not by making as many smart moves as you possibly can. That doesn't necessarily mean you do, but you try. So, in we go. We're pretty high up off the surface there. First bit of what we see. We're not going to catch anything until we get focused down on that thing, but we're going to have to be within 12.2 to see it. Alright, so first ping's away. That's a single rock. So we'll roll it back out. We'll just kind of get some more pings here. There's another one over that way. We'll roll it in. That's doublers. Right off the bat, some doublers. We'll go in and take a look at those doublers and see how we're doing. So, gotta love it. You always gotta love it when you get early doublers or early, anything that's more than 2 rocks right there. And, the scanning mechanics, of course, paying off big time for you. When it does play out in your favor, it's a good thing. Now, just because there's doublers down there doesn't mean there's anything to mine. But, we can go down there and take a look at them. I can see them as I'm approaching. And, yeah, we'll take a look at him and see how it goes. Mr. Zai says, I have nightmares from no helmet deaths. Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, you know, I definitely have ran out so many times without my helmet, for sure. All right, that's going to be a 40, probably like a 45%, 4,000 mass at 5%. Here's a 3122 mass, not a great mass. And this is going to be a blue cap for sure. I'm almost positive. You do have to get within 275 before it starts giving you the scan results. You know, but yeah, it's a blue cap for sure. And so up we go, and I will. We'll kind of just do a ping over this way. Now this, when you have them at that distance, like you have them here, you can kind of go back and just kind of roll back to a 90, and then open it back up again, and you can just kind of start pinging because you're gonna pick a couple of these up. This may be gems right here because I'm not getting anything active to scan. It's either that or geometry's in the way. I was wondering if that was doublers right there. You know, like it was kind of curious of mine. You know, so a couple of doublers right next to each other. That's always a good thing. Path, Evermore. Path, welcome to the channel. You want Lyria, all clusters are quantum? Absolutely, that's a for sure thing. That is for sure. This is going to be a 3418. We're going to have to see. This is probably going to be, you know, maybe a 15 or 20% or something. It's a 12%er. Yep, that's kind of how that's been playing out. This is a 6900 mass rock. And that 6900 mass rock is going to be a 2%er. So we will just kind of roll back out here and get ourselves up in the air a touch and look at our opportunity markers. So there's some over there for sure. Let's go ahead and see. 2 sets of doublers right there, but nothing in them with you know, worth mine in there. That's a single rock. That's a single rock. That's a single rock. We'll roll back out here and get some more opportunity markers going. Okay. Close that. That's a single rock. That's a single rock. That's a single rock. Sounds like Cag is saying that he's got a lot of his chores done and he's going to be passing the baton. I hear you, Cag, for sure. That's awesome. Yep. Kids get to a certain age and there's lots of stuff they can do around the house, and especially when they're older like our children. So we're down underneath 12.2, so we'll be able to see if we... Yep, that's a single rock, and so that's what we're doing. We're going to, you know, head off in this direction. I think we're basically heading south. South is going to be our general heading this time. Yeah, I looked at this guy here. Might as well take a look at these. Single rocks all around. We'll keep on moving. Beautiful single rock there. That's a single rock. That's awesome. We're on Lyria path for sure. That way, if anything's, you know, more than one rock, you know, together, it's always going to be Quantanium. Now, sometimes with the scanning method, there are rocks that are lined up, like at a distance. But for the most part, if you'll see doublers, or you'll see, you know, you'll see your clusters kind of light up at the end of these scans, if that's what they are. Brianna Joyce has a hearty LOL. Pyro says, what feature are you most excited about for the future of Star Citizen? That's a great question. I think the thing that I'm most excited about is probably Pyro. I think Pyro is going to be... It's going to be that first time when you're going to have to really rely on fleet movement. And it's going to, you know, you're refueling and all those things, and And, you know, it's where all of the different aspects of the training that we do as a group, you know, it's where the medical gameplay, you know, having kind of a command and control, you know, you have your refueling, your rearming, your repair, all that stuff, you know, trying to become autonomous out there. So Pyro really, to me, I think is going to be such a big thing. Andreas, how are you tonight? Andreas, nice to see you, sir. As always. Yeah, so I think if you were to ask me what, you know, I guess, and I don't know if that's necessarily a feature per se. I don't know if that, you know, but that's the thing I'm probably most excited for is getting that second system. Now, as far as, I suppose, features go, salvage has me very, you know, interested, as well as the cargo refactor. Those two things in particular. You know, cargo refactor, I think, could be really an amazing thing. So that particular thing could be amazing. For me, ship tractor beams at Pyro. It will make things so much more easy. Plus, I hope we can pick people up and toss them. Yeah, that's a really, really, really good point. I think tractor beams, I mean, they're going to add such a level of detail to the game. They're going to affect really a lot of the different aspects of the game. You know, when you're going to be able to kind of haul ships. The SRV, when we have that, you know, that's going to be so cool. You know, when you kind of got your space tug or whatever, that's going to be pretty amazing. Alright, so we're kind of pinging here, but I'm not. It's interesting. No opportunity markers out in front of us, really. Yeah, there's one there, finally. Hey, there's some doublers. We'll go check those out for sure. So yeah, that's what, yeah, just this scanning is fun. I mean, once you kind of build the muscle memory a little bit, and you've kind of got that part of it down. Path Evermore says the Expanse. I get to expand my family mining operation. Yeah, that's exactly right, Path. I think, isn't that the cool thing, Path? I mean, really, is that, you know, like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you know, when you're able to kind of go out to Pyro, you have like your refueling ships, your rearming ships, your repair ships. You're doing your own refining. You maybe are making your own Quantanium fuel. You're making your own hydrogen. You are absolutely autonomous. That's going to be an amazing time in the game. I'm really excited about that part of it. You know, it's going to be interesting. Here's some doublers. We'll check them out. Andreas says, for me, the best thing about Pyro is its size. I couldn't agree more, Andreas. I'll get the most efficient quantum drive and start exploring. Well, making all the good reps, so I'll get access to refueling on different outposts across Pyro. That's the thing. I only think there's one outpost in Pyro. I could be wrong. I think that's what's in lore. You know, and correct me if I am wrong, for sure, because I hope I am. But that's what I thought. I thought there was just one place in Pyro that's going to be kind of, you know, one gnarly haven, you know what I mean, in Pyro. And so I don't know if I'm wrong about that for sure, but I think that's what that's what I thought it was. Owning property and building a base for me, Gravedigger. Oh, owning property. You know, like maybe having you know, being able to kind of have your own like space farm or whatever, you know, that type of thing, or you know, being able to kind of maybe have a passive area where you do some mining type of thing, or generate some resources. That would be awesome for like you know, some kind of crafting situation. I love that idea. Nate says, I wonder if the Prospector and the Expanse will fit in a C2 for Pyro. Oh, I don't think the Expanse is going to fit in a C2 at all. Now, a Liberator, you know, I don't know if you guys, you know, Nate, if you've seen the Liberator, that may be the type of thing where you can put, you know, maybe land an Expanse in a Prospector on, you know, and then kind of haul your, you know, all of it in just kind of one there. That seems like, yeah, that seems like the Liberator, maybe something like that. One official. Oh, but I bet there's smaller ones. You're probably right. I mean, it does seem like, you know, I mean, you know, there certainly could be some, some other ones that, you know what would be cool if there were these dynamic ones that just kind of popped up, and maybe they'd stay popped up based on like how much people trade with them or who brings what to them. And maybe if they just, like, if nobody brought any fuel to them or somebody shut one down for a long enough time, like, it'd die out. So, like, I forget, there's an MMO that's kind of got that premise right now. I forget what it's called, but it's like got this node system where, like, you know, like the cities get bigger if they're prosperous and smaller if they're not prosperous. That'd be a lot of fun. I think that would be really cool. Brianna Joy says Space Sim. Yep. Drax says one of my reputable skills is operating a warehouse supply. Yeah, that would be, you know, beans, you know, trade, you know, that would really open up trade. Fantastic. I think that would be tons of fun, you guys. Trade would be tons and tons and tons of fun in that kind of a system. It's like, I'm the only guy who has this ammo here, so you can, you know, you can pay top dollar, or you cannot have it. Hey, there's some doublers. We'll go look at those. Single rock over there. I can see those doublers right there, by the way. They're just right here. So we'll take a look at these. Dustin, how much better is this than the rock? Well, I guess, Dustin, first of all, I love ROC mining. I think that it's a little bit different gameplay. I do think overall Quantanium mining is more profitable than rock mining. So if that's your question, like which one is, you know, the biggest bang for your buck as far as time goes, Dustin, I would say that Quantanium mining, I would probably say, is probably, you know, certainly more profitable. You know, that would be, you know, my opinion, but pretty solid one, I think. That being said, I really enjoy rock mining. It's a super fun process. Gray Peter, how are you, Gray? Nice to see you tonight. So yeah, I absolutely super enjoy ROC mining. I think it's a fun gameplay loop, and I definitely think that you know, people may just straight up enjoy it, you know what I mean, which is, you know, I can definitely understand why they would. We'll kind of lean on our head over this way and focus that in, and what we got over there? Single rock. We're still touch out. 12.2 was good. Not getting a ping there. Ah, let's go ahead and focus in again. Interesting. Single rock there. We'll just kind of back these guys back out again. Yeah, look at that, you guys. A couple of different pings there, and I'm not getting anything. That leads me to believe that these are gem icons, but we'll just go ahead and cruise over and check them out anyways. I want to make more money, so perfect answer. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's really any doubt that Quantanium mining is more profitable than ROC mining, for sure. Obi-John Kenobi, love the name, first of all. Obi-John, welcome to the channel. Not a name I recognize. I always do like to call out when people are, you know, a name I don't recall ever seeing before. Please welcome to the channel. Hi. Was my first prospector mining today, and I found a patch of 10 Quantanium rocks. Yeehaw, made over $1 million, refining as we speak. Now, John, be careful that you haul those in before Friday. You know, and I'm going to say Friday is going to be my best guess because they do have the event going live. So that will clear your refinery job. So, John, just be careful. Don't let that stuff, you know, go ahead and read on the site. When I at least know on Friday they're going to drop the patch. And those patches can clear your refining jobs, and you just want to be real careful that you get them hauled in as cargo runs prior to that, sir. So, you know, I hope that information finds you well, and that you have an opportunity or time to do your cargo runs, but make sure you do them. Path Evermore says, I'm spoiled. The second ship I bought with real money was the Prospector. I bought the Prospector too, you guys. I mean, I did hand mine until I bought the ROC. And then I ROC mined until I bought the Prospector. But I ROC mined for a couple of weeks where my wife was was beginning to be like, okay, you know, you have a family. You can't ROC mine all the time in your life. And so, you know, like, then a patch happened. I think it went from 3.11 to 3.12 or something along those lines. I don't remember exactly which patch it was, but I was like, I thought I lost the prospector. I didn't realize that things persisted at that time, and I ended up just going, I am not spending 2 weeks. I earned the thing in the game, you know, so I'm going to go buy it. So then I logged in and I had 2 of them at that time. So yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, the prospector, I do say it a lot on my channel. If there was one ship that I, you know, could buy, you know, if you only could buy one ship, I would buy the prospector every time. It prints me money. I just, you know, it opens up the rest of the game to me. I love the thing. It's my favorite ship in the game. Great Peter says, I saw you here, but just had a 6,500 rock with 23%, and so take a crack at it first into the refinery. Yeah, you know, that's a hard one to crack, Gray. I mean, hopefully you have a mining gadget along, you know. Andreas says, I'm super broke, ATM, bought a new ship, the Banu Defender. Good ship, by the way, Andreas. We were just talking the other day about how good of a ship that Banu is. I mean, strange, you know, really good ship for sure. And a lot of weapons to test. Gonna do bunkers, deliveries, and easy bounties until the patch. That's a good idea. I mean, it's not a bad idea. You know, when people are saying, hey, you know, what do I do with my time? You know, I mine mostly, but what do I do with my time? You know, when it starts getting to, you know, closing, like tonight, I'm going to do a couple of Dynex Solvenation jobs. Now, there's a bit of a gamble, right? What if they release the patch on Thursday? And they certainly could. And I would lose those jobs. So, you know, like, you know, taking a bit of a gamble with that one. But, you know, getting back to the point, you know, it's like, what do you do with your time? Like, well, first of all, do some bounty missions. They're a lot funner than they used to be. There's loot to be had. There's also all the derelicts that have the rare loot in them. That's another great thing to do with your time, honestly. You know, learning where they're at and just kind of learning to go through them. They are you know, they have some things that can make them dangerous, so you have to be careful. You know, but yeah, just you know, some food for thought there. Dustin says, I've been thinking of waiting for all the prospecting ship and then decide a long wait, may just buy it. Yeah, you know, Dustin, it's the one ship in the, you know, if you do spend money on the prospector, it's not money, you know, that's badly spent. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, you don't have to do it. But if you do buy that one, I definitely can understand why you would. It's a ship that unlocks the rest of the game for you. It really can if you get halfway decent at Quantanium mining. Brianna Joy says, I did notice Drake is the last company showcase at Invictus. Seems like they kind of have something big to announce. Now, I think it seems like Drake normally goes last at Invictus, or has in the past. But I have a feeling that there might be something Drake-ish going on. I agree with you, Brianna. I've got my eye on Drake, and I'm wondering about that myself. It's an excellent point that you're making. And it's not lost on me. Gray Peter says, no one used a surge in a stampede. Oh, of course, Gray. That's awesome. The gadgets just don't work for me. I can understand that. Nothing wrong with the surge stampede. The surge stampede is a tried-true method for breaking a 6500. You easily can break a 6500 with a couple of well-placed surges for sure. Carl Merrill, welcome to the channel, Carl. Not a name I recognize, Carl. Last I used the prospector a couple of patches ago. There was a glitch getting out of the seat and getting stuck. That's still a thing. No, it hasn't been a thing, Carl. And I remember I actually had a video myself that I had posted to the issue council on that exact issue, Carl. And it's no longer an issue. So, I mean, I've been getting in and out of I've never, you know, I mean, the prospector used to be, you know, semi-dangerous. I mean, you get into it, you might wind up in the superstructure. But that particular bug, you know, when you know, where you were kind of trapped in the seat, that one's definitely gone, Carl, for sure. Mr. Azai says, the Mule and the Vulture should be in Invictus. That is going to be crazy. You know, the Mule is going to be crazy. I'm excited to see that stuff, for sure. If I'm not mistaken, isn't Drake always last? Yeah, that's what I thought, too. I think Drake is always last. It would be interesting. Boy, the Corsair is an interesting thought, too. I wonder if it's gotten through enough stuff where the Corsair... Man, I didn't think about the Corsair. That would be righteous. That would be really cool if the Corsair is there. For sure. That would be... Carl says, sweet, thank you. Yeah, welcome aboard, Carl. You know, if you like mining content and you're getting back into it, like and sub, brother. For sure, man. I mean, you know, give us a like and give us a sub and come hang out with us. There's a lot of people on the stream who would love to kind of get you back up to speed. Quadsar, how you doing, Quad? Nice to see you. Drake is always the last at IAE because they're banned from the event. They have to run their own. Yeah, that's probably what it is. I think there's some lore behind that. Don't remember where they fall in the previous. I think that they are last, though. I seem to recall them being last, like, for some reason or another. They said they had announced 4 unannounced ships. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting, you guys. You know, of course it's a ship sale, right? I mean, that's what it is. So, you know, they've always got a ship up their sleeve for sure. It will be interesting to see which one that is. We're just cruising along, seeing a lot of single rocks here, by the way. And we'll just keep moving. 4 unannounced ships. That's very interesting. I do wonder if the Corsair may show up. I didn't think about the Corsair until just when you guys mentioned it. Is there a reason that Cutlass Black is a pirate favorite? Path, that's an excellent question. I don't know if the Cutlass Black is still as much of a pirate favorite as maybe it was like back in the day. I remember that's kind of the way they were pitching it back in 2014 when I backed Star Citizen. You know, that was kind of like, it's like, oh, that's going to be a cool pirate-ish ship. I don't know if it's still kind of got that piratey vibe as much as it used to, in that kind of a sense. I do think it's a super versatile ship, an unbelievably versatile ship. You know, it's in a good place because it can, you know, it's got that, it's not a huge ship. It's got a size 2 quantum drive. You know, you got the XL1 in there. It definitely has some upside. It can carry an ROC. I mean, it does a lot of gameplay stuff. It's a jack of all trades. It's a good ship. It really is. It's a decent combat ship. You know, I mean, decent. You know, it's just a good ship. I think it's, you know, it's got a little space in it. You know, yeah. I think the Cutlass Black is a good ship for sure. There's a leak of a big container. Looks like the mule can fit in the drain. That's going to be interesting, you know. Yeah, it's, you know, I'm not exactly sure how all that's going. Definitely Drake's got something up their sleeve, Dustin, for sure. Gray Peter says, what you need to watch out for in this patch are the lifts. The one at the refinery dark well. Yes, we were talking about that, Gray, earlier. How one of the most dangerous things in the verse right now is the refinery elevators, for sure. They are absolutely, you know, stunningly and unabashedly dangerous. For sure. Cutlass Black is a great ship. I love mine. I do. I like the Cutlass Black. I mean, I did a ton of ROC mining with the Cutlass Black. Those are huge engines on the Cutlass Black. It's a good ship, for sure. Dustin, the most common because Drake is cheap and reliable. Anvil Legionnaire and the new Pisces. What? Is there a new Pisces? What on earth is going on with that? I didn't know there. I like the Pisces. You guys, I do. I mean, I like ships that have some utilitarian purpose to them. And the Pisces, I know, get slept on a lot. I like that little ship, man. I can do some landings in that Pisces I could never do in other ships, for sure. You know, it's little, I get it, but I like the Pisces, man. I dig it, for sure. All right, single rock there. Those might be doublers, or they might not be. We're at an angle where it's hard to say. I don't think they were, just based on the distance that they kind of they drew. But we'll go ahead and we'll go take a look over here and see if these were doublers or not. I don't think they were, but we'll look again. Shane Dean, welcome to the channel. Shane, how are you? Go to the right lifts in the refineries. They don't seem to kill. I agree with that. When you're running out of the refinery, always go to the right one. The right ones kill you far less than the left ones are deadly. They knock you like into the nether region of the station. It's super deadly. for sure. But I don't think I've died to the right one yet. Maybe once I did, but it's far less for sure. I don't know. This guy here is, yeah, it's an obsidian deposit. This. Yeah, these weren't doublers, right? It was one of those things where they just kind of drew a little bit further away from each other for sure. So we'll go back into this guy here. And we'll kind of focus this guy down. Single rock there. Single rock there. This guy's definitely in range. Single rock there. Great, Peter says the right one is the one that's killed me 3 times. Oh, that's crazy. You know, I definitely have had better luck. Like, as you're running out of the, you know, as you're leaving the refinery, it's the one when you turn to the right. I've definitely had, that's the one that's at least been the friendliest to me. Brianna Joy says, Doc? Yeah, that's exactly right. They definitely, they're deadly, man. It's not even funny. They're definitely killing a lot of miners out there. OSHA would not approve. I'll just tell you guys that much. OSHA would not be. They'd be issuing demerits for sure. Shane Death says, "Oh damn, the left one is the one that always gets me." Yeah, that's the left one is the one that always gets me. But you know what it probably is? It's probably the one that you're used to running to. Like I always run to the left one. I mean, I realized that after I died like 4 times in a row. It's like, I never run to the right one. I always go to the left one here for whatever reason. And so, yeah, it just kind of dawned on me that that was a thing. And so, you know, I started kind of mixing it up, and then I started going, well, hey, I seem to live more with this one over here. So this trip to Leary is taking a little longer. Pisces cargo variant from what I've heard. Interesting. Now I wonder if that's going to be like a, what is it going to be like an 8 SCU or maybe a 10 SCU little Pisces? Interesting. I wonder. Because what's the current one? Is the current like Pisces expedition? Is it 6? Is it 4? I don't even know that I know that. What I like about the Pisces is it's 2 little jump seats there. I just think it's a cool ship. I mean, if there's just a couple of you and you got to get somewhere, like maybe like is a runabout, like we talk about having like, you know, like a fleet, you know, like if you're going to run from one fleet ship to another fleet ship or that type of thing, or haul some things over somewhere. Yeah, 6. That makes sense. Thank you, Dustin. Gray Peter says, I stay right back at the bottom of the stairs. It knocks me over the edge and I can't get back and then fall. Yeah, that's exactly what happens to me. You know, you get knocked into the nether regions of that thing. I want a Pisces with the bed, says Andreas. I like that idea. That'd be alright. Alright. Single rock. Yeah, it's a ferry. That's an excellent way. You know, a skiff, a runabout. Exactly, Brianna. That's exactly the way that I think about it as well, for sure. Single rock. Okay. Beautiful. Keeping our foot down here for sure. Keep looking here. I mean, you know, sometimes, you know, when you're on Lyria, it takes a minute. Now that's definitely going to be gem icons at that distance. Fly over these gems here in just a sec. Ooh, that's a bunch of them too. That's a healthy patch of them down there. I can see that single rock right there. Single rock. Just cruising along. Nothing too special here. Looking for a little something to mine. Pics of the mule on our Discord. I gotta check that out for sure. I know that the mule is just anything that's doing anything that's kind of industrial or whatever is I like it. I will be checking that out in just a sec. Scanning here. Got some opportunities over this way. Single rock. Hey, there's some doublers, maybe. We'll go over there and look. I mean, they did paint close, so they may not necessarily be doublers, but they could be. So we'll go ahead and take a look at those. Brianna Joy says, a little two-seater by Origin, the 85X. For my quick runabout, I bought an Origin X85 swallowing quick. And yeah, it does sound like Mr. Zeiss says, I love the 85X. Perfect little runabout vehicle. And I don't disagree with that at all. Bronson says, do you think the Prospector will be on sale for Invictus in-game currency? Oh, I don't know that they've ever ran an in-game currency sale. And I mean that with all due respect. I just don't think that's something that they do. Looks like this is going to be gem icons. I think we must have lost those doublers. I don't know where they. I kind of was looking at the chat and wasn't really paying that close of attention. Maybe they weren't what I thought they were. No problem there. We'll just kind of keep moving. Yeah, Brunson. I don't think that they've ever done any kind of an in-game sale, like where they're... I guess I could be wrong about that, but I don't recall one like that. I know the Free Fly is going to be coming up for sure. That's a good point, Dustin. That's an excellent point. Pyro says, do they pledge store sales? Might have to pick something up if the price is right. Not sure what you mean exactly, Pyro, by pledging store sales. Unless you're saying, do they have better deals or whatever, and they certainly do from time to time in Invictus. Brianna Joy says, did you see the first race on the Microtech River? Apparently the dew sync is good enough to race again. I need to check out those. I've heard that there was some racing stuff going on there. I need to check that out. 4 SCU in the current Pisces, you guys. Okay, well that's a good thing to know. I think those are doublers right down here. 4 SCU in the current Pisces. The race was really good on the river. Also love the one in Orison for ground vehicles they hosted. I mean, obviously, racing is an interesting thing in this game. I think that it seems like I had read that somewhere that they used to have a lot more racing, or maybe some stuff, but they got away from it. It'd be interesting to see if that could get back going again. I know people do a lot of the in-game racing stuff. I really like the Daymar Rally. I think that's really cool. I mean, I watch the Daymar Rally on the day that they do it, like it's like it's a thing. I mean, it's a thing, but you know what I mean. Like it's a regular rally race. The Microtech City track is crazy. Yeah, that's. Don't disagree with that. It's an obsidian. These were not doublers. You could tell that when we were lining up on them. Just a gem icon there, no problem. So this time we're definitely working a little harder to find something to mine, and that's okay. I mean, you know how we do it on the channel. We just kind of keep our foot on the gas, keep kind of working, keep pushing. Eventually we'll find something. If I get down to 50% hydrogen, I'll go go change it up and change the area. Definitely not finding a whole lot out here right now, and that's okay. I mean, you know, just kind of cruising around, enjoying the conversation for sure. Ray Peter says, I'm going to move to Orison for a weekend. You know, I'm going to be around there a lot too. I was mentioning, Gray, I have the week off next week. I'm going to be doing a lot more streaming. I'm definitely going to be spending a lot more time kind of around Orison. It's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. It's so funny, when I took this week off, the next week off, I had no idea. It was like, I did not plan it around that, so I'm really happy that it just worked out that way. It's kind of cool. That Fleet Week is happening next week. I'm going to start out every day, at least going to the event every single day, and then I'll probably end up doing some mining on the other side of the verse. So maybe a little Daymar ROC mining, some Aaron Halo mining, maybe fly out of CRUL1, which is always great because it has that bonus for Quantanium. You know, I might do some just mining on Selin and Yella, and it's just going to end up... They probably will be slower streams as far as the amount of Quantanium found. But, you know, obviously a lot to talk about with the with Fleet Week happening, so that'll be good. Kind of keep heading towards this guy here. Need to get within 12.2 in order to get a scan, so up single rock. Ooh, lots of opportunity markers out this way, right? So still was a touch too far out. There we go. Single rock. Here, I'll roll this back out again. Single rock. A lot of opportunities out this way. We're going to keep taking a look. Gray Peter says it's my birthday event. Now I know, Gray, because you and I have talked about it. That's another day in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken, for you, sir. I hope that I'm not saying that wrong, if I'm recalling correctly, which I think is absolutely, unabashedly lovely. That is just, I mean, truly have nothing but the utmost respect for that. Driz Niz, do you stream on Twitch as well? No, I don't, Driz. I don't stream on Twitch. I stream pretty much just exclusively on YouTube. I've never thought about, I mean, you know, it's only recently, I actually wasn't even planning on doing a stream, you guys. It just so turned out where all of a sudden I did a few of these, and they, you know, people enjoyed them, and, you know, and I just started doing it, and I really have just decided I enjoy it. So, Driz, I definitely haven't done any Twitch streaming at all. Some people have suggested that I should do some Twitch streaming, but I haven't done it yet. Lovebird, hey Love, how's it going? Nice to see you. So no, great question, Driz. I thought about it. You know, I haven't committed to it. I think I'd need a little bit more time in a regular schedule in order to do that. A lot of times when I stream, it's just kind of when life permits. But I definitely want to get more regular about it, for sure. It's going pretty good, by the way, Lovebird. We had a unicorn earlier, 32 SCU run. Came back out to Lyria looking for a little bit more to mine tonight. It's been, you know, quite honestly, a touch slow. This has been a kind of a lesson in you know, how to use the scanning mechanics, even though they're not necessary. We haven't had a ton of good hits out here the second time out, but we're looking. We're desperately looking. Brianna Joy says YouTube is... That's, Brianna, that's the one thing. It's so funny because when I decided to stream, I really looked into it. I don't think any of those are going to be Quantanium, you guys. I mean, it could be a single, but that's just a bunch of single rocks there, right? I don't think any of this is like doublers or anything. I think this is just one of those things that just kind of happened. We'll take a look here. Yeah, Driz says YT seems to be doing with their live stream, so you're ahead of the curve. Yeah, Driz, that's the thing. Yeah, like just to kind of finish that thought. Sorry about that. I just kind of was looking at you know, the the scanner there. Yeah, I started looking at it, and what happened was there was a lot of Twitch guys at the time when I started streaming around the first of the year who were kind of abandoning Twitch. You know, they just were just like not happy with something about it. I couldn't quite exactly put my finger down on what they were not happy about, but a lot of them were just leaving Twitch, and I just decided to start streaming on YouTube. I mean, on YouTube, I already have, you know, lots of videos that I do for quick tips and some shorts, and I really do like making content, you know, that's just like mining content or industrial content for Star Citizen. So, you know, like, it just kind of was a natural fit. It does seem like that I was pleasantly surprised to hear at some point that YouTube is going to start doing some of the Twitchy-like things. Now, we'll have to see. Maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. I don't necessarily know. But I have definitely enjoyed, like, I never dreamed I was going to enjoy streaming, you guys. I adore it. It's so much fun chatting with you guys. I would be out here mining anyways, just by myself. So the fact that, you know, like, people, you know, like to check it out and can learn, and we can kind of, you know, cooperatively kind of, you know, chat about this stuff, and I learned so much about the game from you guys here. It's beautiful. Lovebird says it's going. Finally ran out of that 30 million someone gave me so far. Yeah, that happens, you know, when you get a nice gift like that, and you kind of run off that money for a bit. So you got to start. Yeah, you got to make some investments and start, you know, turning it around, love. I know what you mean. That's awesome. Dustin says you can't stream on both if you become part of Twitch. I don't know if that's the case. I guess I don't 100% know how all that works. Really, I mean, to me, streaming is just more about community, more about, like, hanging out with you guys than anything. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm not a foolish guy. I mean, if there's, for some reason, you know, if I could, you know, mine on Star Citizen and you know, and people would come and watch it and love it, and somehow or another I could, you know, make that a thing, I'd do it all the time. I mean, I love playing Star Citizen. I enjoy, you know, I enjoy streaming. And I never, like I said, I never dreamed that I'd enjoy it as much as I do. Gray Peter says, it's strange how finding quant some days it's so much better than others. I agree. Or even just from one run to the next. I mean, you know, the last run I had, like, I was hitting doublers and all sorts of stuff. And, you know, like, I definitely have, you know, like, I've seen a lot of single rocks out here. So I think what I'm going to do, actually, is, you know, do what I sometimes do is just kind of grab the sticks. Let's kind of get a little altitude. We'll just kind of find a spot where we can... I'll just climb out, hit an OM marker, and come back. Someone gave you 30 mil. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? Holy mackerel, that's beautiful. Discoverability is the biggest problem on Twitch. Yeah, I could definitely see that, Lovebird, for sure. You know, I think, you know, fortunately, it's, you know, it's my channel here has grown fairly organically. I mean, you know, I'm approaching 1,000 subs, and I'm really excited about it. But it's definitely been more of an organic process where I kind of did a lot of mining content videos long before I ever dreamed about doing the streaming. But it's the streaming that I really do. I really enjoy doing this. Drizna says, I don't mind the new scanning. If I'm honest, I really like the new scanning, Driz, for sure. Lovebird says, I've narrowed down the ships. Basically, I refuse to fly. So, Lovebird, tell us the ships that you refuse to fly. I think that'd be great. I'd like to hear which ships those are, for sure. That's funny. I know of a couple of ships that I don't like to fly, for sure, too. So that's why I am asking. No Res Plays Games. Hi. How are you, sir? Welcome to the channel. Not a name I recognize. He says, Twitch affiliates and partners are under contract not to split stream or post the content on other streams for, I think, up to 24 to 48 hours. Oh, that's interesting, No Res. I didn't know any of that stuff. Thank you for sharing that with the channel. By the way, welcome to the channel. It's not a name I recognize. I don't know anyone who does that, and Twitch doesn't enforce it. I see, so it's kind of like a... You know, that I suppose if somebody broke a rule, they may use it. to kind of maybe do something about it. But it doesn't sound like it's something that they they kind of strongly enforce. That's really helpful to know, No Res. I appreciate that. That's kind of cool. I don't know much about Twitch, you guys. I mean, obviously I know about Twitch. I know what it is and how. But as far as the inner workings of it or whatever, I mean, I don't know much about it. I know Driz, I'm getting close to 1,000 subs. I know. I'm really excited about that. I'm hoping. Oh, there's no. Those are all gonna. None of those are gonna be Quantanium. We'll have to go look at them though. I mean, they could be a single, but I don't think any of those are close enough to each other. Even though they lit up, they were just in a line, you guys. That's what happened there. So, yeah. So I am getting close to 1,000 subs. I'm excited about it. I think next week, I should get lucky and hit that. Obviously, if anybody's new to the channel, please do like and sub. Well, I'm getting close. I mean that. I appreciate it so much. Streaming is just such a blast. I really just do enjoy it. Holy mackerel, look at all these opportunity markers, you guys. We need to get working here. Macaroni. Alright, what about this guy? 12-2. Single rack. I'll close on this one. Code. How are you, Code? Nice to see you. How you been, Code? For sure. Lubber says Hurricane, Gladiator, Saber, Ion, Inferno, Arrow. Oh, now come on, Lovebird. The Arrow. You can't hate on the Arrow. That thing's great. I don't have any experience in the Gladiator or the Saber or the Ion or the Inferno, but I have a lot of experience in the Arrow, and I like that ship. I think that ship's cool. Now, I've really kind of grown fond of the Gladius as well recently. I had one given, I think Sig gave me one because people used my star code. So, yeah, it was cool. I wasn't expecting it. One day I logged in, I'm like, why do I have a Gladius? And then I figured it out later. Code Hollow says, are there mining clubs in Star Citizen? There are mining organizations, Code, for sure. And, Code, by the way, there is, obviously there's orgs, and I mean, we have an excellent mining operation in our org, an industrial squad, a couple of them. Some of, like, one of them is specifically for mining and salvage, and one of them is more larger logistics and that type of thing. Gray Peter says, already subbed, so I can't help. Thank you, Gray. I appreciate that, honestly. That's okay. I mean, obviously, I want to earn people subs for sure, and I do, like, it means so much to me when people do, sub on the channel. I try and make sure that the arrow equals paper. I see what you're saying, Lovebird. I know what you mean. But she does dance a little bit. Code says, I'm good. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, man, happy Tuesday for sure. That's awesome. It's a beautiful Tuesday for sure. Lovebird says, but the M50 Razor and the Talon are amazing. The Talon is amazing, by the way. The Talon's an unbelievable ship. I agree with that. For sure. The Hurricane's a great ship, but I don't want my if you have a good guy in a turret, and for whatever reason I do okay in a turret. I think I'm actually fairly good in a turret, but I've definitely had some fun. One time I think I've been in a Hurricane turret a couple times, and boy, it seems like we just wrecked things with that ship. I mean, that ship is something else when you get all things kind of clicking in it. Gray Peter, Brianna Joy. Hey, Caglass says unicorn run for me. Brianna Joy says that's ominous. Could be a ship coming to say hi. Yeah, I was looking at that, Brianna. I know. I was kind of like, I wonder. It always definitely could be somebody who's scanning me from a distance. If they are, they'd know that it's been a pretty dry run so far. Holy smokes! I mean, this particular run. I mean, my last run was really good, you know, obviously, but was hoping we'd find one more thing to mine over here today. Lovebird says, can't speak for mining, but our org is a good org in general. Yeah, I mean, the org is good. It's absolutely just full of good people. Great FPS, great FPS players. Something over that way. We're gonna take a look. Great FPS players, really good pilots. Obviously, some nice tools too. I mean, the guy who does a lot of our site administration is a real sharp guy. He's the guy who built the QuantCalc app. We're really blessed. I mean, there's some good dudes in there, and some good hearts, and people that really do a really good job. Phaedrus, how have you been, Phaedrus? Nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a minute. For sure, Drizzness, have you looked into YT rating? No. What is YT rating, Driz? Andrea says, now since I own a Banu Defender, I want a Banu mining ship. Love the design language. I can appreciate that. Like an alien mining vessel would be kind of fun. I think that would be a blast. Mr. Azai says that 70... Everybody in Inspector Fleet is great. That 72 guy, you got to keep your eye out on him. I don't disagree, man. That guy. Caglat says, who you calling a tool? Fair enough. Yeah, that's hilarious. Dustin says, I like it. Yeah, that's... Lovebird says, I'm honestly a bit excited for the Santaki Eye. 4 main thrusters that articulate with 4 size 3 guns is going to be nuts. The Santaki Eye is going to be cool. I actually am, very interested in the Raylan too, you guys. I mean, the Raylan is one of those ships where it's a very interesting, ship to me. It's going to be interesting to see how the Raylan, kind of does. Phaedrus says, howdy, Space Shorts, mostly on lurk mode, but wanted to hang out and leave some thumbs up. Thank you, Phaedrus, for sure. I know that, you and I have chatted a couple times, Phaed, so I hope that you're doing well, sir. And I, there's a lot of people who just kind of listen to the podcast, listen to the stream as a podcast or kind of hang out in the background, and just know that I really do appreciate it, truly, for sure. Driz says, Phaedrus, the man, the myth. Yeah, hey Phaedrus. Quadstar says, I own the Santec. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Yeah, the Santec. Yeah, that thing is going to be very interesting. I just think the Santok is going to be good. Yeah, like I said, obviously being more industrial based myself, I really, like I said, the Raylan is an interesting ship to me. The Raylan may make me give up my, I've used the Constellation Taurus. That's my favorite kind of hauler. Match with my Prospector. I may give up, depending on how that Raylan flies. We'll have to see. Yeah, Dustin says blockade runner, right? That's what they say about that. It's supposed to be kind of a blockade runner. Now, we'll have to see what that means exactly, Dustin. I'm not sure. Just says Miski because Musashi Industrial Starlight Concern. Love that name. Yeah, that's an interesting name. I agree with that, Driz, for sure. All right, there's definitely some doublers there. Holy smokes, you guys. Hopefully the mining gods will throw us a bone over here. Definitely had some doublers over this way. Brianna Joy says, I'm excited to see the Perseus. Oh, I think, yeah, the Perseus is going to be an exciting ship. I think you're absolutely right about that. Phaedra says Edriz got a new job, new schedule. Still trying to catch your channel. Fair enough. Driz, do you stream, Driz? And sorry I wouldn't know that. At Space Shorts is where I learned the Prospector mine. Thank you. Well, thank you very much, you guys. Hey, now I better let me find my doublers here. Or around. Look at all those opportunity markers. Holy mackerel, you guys. I'm gonna try and... How many of these I can knock out? There's a single. Come on. Someone's cluster me, baby. Yeah. That would be great. Yeah, Miska's I mean, Misk ships I just love. Driz says YouTube doesn't say how long you've been on for Star Streams. I've started around... I myself have been streaming a couple hours today. I started around 5:30 my time, and it's about 7:30 now. And that first run went so good, you know. Single rock there. Get our opportunity markers back. Boy, I could have swore I seen some doublers. Yeah, I already did 32 SCU, Driz. You know, I already had a full unicorn run of 32 SCU. So, you know, not doing too bad, but, you know, obviously it's been a, you know, whenever I get down to 50% hydrogen, which I just crossed that threshold, you know, and haven't found something to put in the hopper, that's very rare. I mean, it's... Now, it's not that it doesn't happen at all. Those are definitely doublers. Okay, so we'll go check those out. It's not that it doesn't happen. It does, of course. Hey, Dragon Master. Dragon, how are you today, man? Nice to see you. It does say started streaming 2 hours ago. Yeah, it's been a couple hours, you guys, for sure. All right, let's cross our fingers. Hopefully these doublers are... Just after midnight there, A. Gray. That's awesome. Yeah, no, Driz, on my stream, we call those unicorns whenever you get a full 32 SCU of Quantanium. I get them all the time. Like in my stream from Saturday, I had 3 unicorns in a row. Now, just because, you know, anything over 15 SCU, I will mine, sir, for sure. Absolutely. But, you know, yeah, I definitely get a lot of unicorns for sure. And, you know, and that's just kind of, you know, full 32 SCU runs. Those are not uncommon on my channel for sure. But it's definitely been a couple of hours. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's been you know, this particular second run out has been pretty slow for sure. Single rock. Yeah, we've been talking about Invictus, Dragon Master. Was that from one rock? Yeah, Shane, it was. And if you go, there's some doublers there, you guys. So we're starting to find a few more doublers. Thank the heavens. Oh, and there's a cluster. All right. So maybe we'll get lucky here, you guys. Some doublers in a cluster. Yeah, Shane, that rock, if you go back and watch the stream, is a 40-40. So that means it was, you know, a 4,000 mass. It's like a little over a 40-40. 4,000 mass at 40%. And ended up breaking super clean, and it was a full 32 SCU run. Now, this is not going to be a terrible rock. I mean, it's probably going to be like a 15%er. Yeah, exactly, a 14. That's not going to do it for us. And that's not going to do it for us. But we do have this cluster over this way. Figure out where this cluster is at here. I think it's over here. Hey, there we go. There we go. Alright, let's get the mining laser out. Let's see if we can get to work here. This is... You know, obviously, just because you find a Quantanium cluster doesn't mean that there's going to be something to mine. But you have lots of opportunities, which is great. So that's what you're looking for. That's a nice rock. Well, it's only a 13%. A nice mass, 7,000. For sure. Kaglass says, so do we call a unicorn in our ones? You know, I have lots of names. You know, like, it's so funny. Like, if you get a 31, I've decided a 3199 is a mulligan uni. If it's not a full 3200. For whatever reason, I've been calling those Mulligan unis CAG for sure. It's funny to me. I don't know why. I laugh at myself. Brandon Joy says, looking forward to that for sure. Oh, yeah, I'm excited for the PvP. Yep. You know, this is... Come on, one of these rocks has to have something in it. That's not a bad rock. I mean, it's a 5872 at 23%. 6310 and this is not going to be great. All right. Well, it looks like we only... That's not a great rock. It's a little over 20 SCU, but it's not terrible. So we're definitely going to mine it. This guy here wasn't great. It's a 2%er, right? I'm just going to double check that I just didn't, you know, I wasn't going a little too fast. How much is you? Yeah, about 250,000 or so. Yeah, I mean, that's about right. Absolutely. By the time you pay your refining costs and that type of thing. 5%er. At 13%er, and then I have this 23% or something. What is the mass of this 13%er? Oh yeah, she's a little girthy. All right, well we're gonna break this 5872 down. Now, a 5872, it can definitely be broken by a Lancet. It's not necessarily an easy break, but it can happen. Let's just go ahead and see how we do. Now, one advantage we do have is it's only a 23.75. So. I'm going to go ahead and grab QuantCalc. It's in a, you know, let's just kind of do a calculation here. This is not a ton of SCU. It's only a little over, you know, maybe a 24 or so, 58, 72 at 23.75. I'll calculate that rock. And that is going to be around, my guess is around 25 SCU. 27 SCU, so a little better. Now, it has to break clean, though, too. That's the thing, right? So, not a, you know, and also it's going to take a little bit of time. It's 5872 is not an easy break. Now, I could put a mining gadget on this thing if I wanted to, but I don't. I mean, I could, I mean, if I had to. And it would probably go faster for efficiency's sake. But, you know, it's just, this is a breakable rock, you know what I mean? So, it's going to, it will take a little while to build the energy into this thing, because it will... It'll go up and down. It will fall out, but it is definitely doable. So, Greg Peter says, one of the clusters I found today at a 67% mass, 38%er. I called for another miner. We both got a 32 SCU. That's great. Isn't that the cool thing, you know, when you call for another miner and you just get a hand? Oh, you guys. They have an uncanny way. I'm going to hide this from the channel. I will report this person as doing that kind of thing. So, yeah, I get the bots now and then, you guys. It's one of those things that do show up. I appreciate your patience on that. I try and take care of them as quick as possible. Shane says, nice. Thanks for showing me how to mine. Been doing it so wrong. Shane, yeah, I'm glad that you're... I mean, that's why I do the channel, just because I love teaching people how to Quantanium mine. And it's a very blue-collar method, you know, like nothing crazy. You know, but a lot of people do come and thank me for, you know, for just saying, hey... you know, I learned this or I learned that, but there's lots of times that you guys share as well, which makes the channel so much better. You guys contribute an enormous amount to this channel, so it's I can't thank you enough. Driz says, how much have you upgraded your prospector? I'm sure you've answered this. Driz, ask any, please. I don't care if I've answered the question 1,000 times, sir. Please ask any questions that you want, and I appreciate you asking. Right now on this prospector, I don't have a ton of extras. I do have a rush drive. That falls somewhere between the Atlas, which is your best all-around range drive, and your VK00, which is your best short-range drive. So I have a rush drive on this thing. I do have a Lancet MH1. That's my mining laser head. The cap on that thing's around 5,900, as you can say. That's why this 5872 is being so slow. And I do have on it an FLTRXL and a couple of Brants for consumables. One of them is a passive. The FLTRXL is a passive module. And then I have the Brants on there as well. Driz says YouTube is just trying to be Cupid, I guess. That's awesome. Firebrand. Welcome to the channel, Firebrand. Not a name I recognize, but I truly do appreciate you being here. If you have any questions about anything Star Citizen related, please chime in and you know, join the conversation. If I can answer any questions about mining for you, Firebrand, I'm happy to do it. You know, and guys, we'll say I'm getting around 1,000 subs, so some of you new faces, if you do like Star Citizen or you do like theory crafting about Star Citizen, give it a like and a sub. I would really appreciate it. You know, like the fact that I get to see new faces and talk to some new folks. And Shane Dean, another name, not necessarily I see all the time. Welcome to the channel as well. So welcome, you guys. This is great. You know. So, anyways, yeah, a 5872 is right out at the edge of what's comfortable for the Lancet. This is a 23.75. If this was more up around a 48 or a 49%er, this thing would be much harder to crack. You know, but it's only a 23%er. There's 28 SCU in this rock, roughly around there. Now, it may not break that clean, so we're going to do the best we can with that. It's still going to be another 3 or 4 minutes before we build enough energy into this thing. Like I said, I could have set the Prospector down and put a mining gadget on this thing to go faster, but I know from experience I don't need it. Fire Brand says, thank you. I'm mining this very moment. Hope you are well. I'm very well. Thank you for asking, sir. Yeah, man, it's a lot of people do mine while they listen to the mining stream, which is cool. You know, there's always some conversation to be had. We always are answering lots of questions about, you know, what prospector, you know, solo moling versus prospecting. You know, what's the best hauling ship? All those things come up all the time. How do you get the yellow icons is another one that we answer a lot of. You know, nice, you guys. It's nice to see so many new faces. Brianna Joy says the Orion is going to be a beast of an all-in-one ship when it comes out. I am so about that, Brianna. I hear what you're saying. I agree with that 1,000,000%. I'm super excited about that ship. I do think, you know, and I was watching Info Runners, and they said they think there's going to be one more mining ship, right? The Prospector's the small. They say the Mole is the medium. There's supposed to be one other, like, large, is the way I understand it. Schwan, welcome to the channel. Schwan says, I'm just a lurker. Usually watch your vids in the morning. Glad to catch you live. I noticed a couple days ago. And hold on just a second, I'm getting into the green. Just want to double check this. You try to place a mining gadget. By placing it, you can just left click the rock. You know what, Schwan? I will give that a try next time. I think somebody else mentioned it to me, or maybe even you did on one of the chats. And I agree with that. You know, like I actually, when I did it on the out in the air in Halo, I did it that way. You can see it's falling out. This is no problem, you guys. This happens when it's this size rock. Don't be bashful. Just be patient. It will climb back up into the green. Once it's high enough up into the green, I might hit it with the branch so it stays in the green. It can't as aggressively fall out. But we will do this one. Oh boy, here we go. Another. I'm gonna hide this user from the channel. Report that user. It's always a difficult thing right in the middle of a mine. Right in your mining, you get the porn button. Sorry, guys. Drissa's got to run. Thanks for keeping me entertained, my man. As always, great info. Excited to see 1K subs and more for you. Thank you, Driss. Please take care of yourself. Salute to you. Welcome. Thank you for coming to the channel. Stop by anytime, and I hope to see you again. Andrea says, I hope the visor implementation for the helmets will give different helmets individual HUD colors. Man, Andreas, won't that be cool? If you can wouldn't it be awesome if you could just kind of pick the color that worked best for you? One person was saying to me that they like the yellow icons because it's so much better because they're colorblind. You know, which I never even thought about because, you know, I'm fortunate enough not to suffer from that condition. But they just said, hey man, those yellow icons have made a tremendous difference in the game for me because I'm colorblind, and I really want to thank you for just kind of pointing that out, you know. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a cool thing. Yeah, Faye just kind of gives Driz, a salute there, and I appreciate that. Brian Joy says, I think so too. The Orion is the capital ship. Oh, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Driz, for stopping by. That is awesome. And we will just keep on keeping on. We will get this rock to crack. This is not uncommon. It gets a little fussy up around the optimal window. But it will eventually break up into the green, and I will hit it with a brand when it does. But only when it gets up about halfway into the green. You know, I don't want it to fall out. So there we go. So now I'm going to brand it. What that's going to do is going to help kind of stabilize it up in the green. So it's not going to necessarily shoot up into the overcharge. It still may fall out. You can see that it's thinking about it now. But you know what? It just kind of evens it out so it's not so radically moving back and forth. Andrea says that would be amazing. Oh, yeah, I agree. It would be. So, yeah, this is a 5872. We're hanging in there. I think we're actually going to get this break. And this is a native Lancet NMH1. I didn't even put any extras on it. So, just to show you, you can break these bigger mass rocks. They can be broken. They do take a little bit of time in Ace. And then Firebrand says there are patient miners and then there are dead miners. That's a very good... there are definitely I have seen where people get over their skis a bit, trying to force things or going a little bit faster than they need to, and I understand why. I mean, it's just one of those things. Now I love mining, so this is fun for me. I can understand why it's not so fun for some people. So half that is 45. So you got 450 there, so that is not. There must be another piece. Is there another piece underneath there? That's 877. What is that? That's going to have a pretty good percentage in it as well. So yeah, that's going to be most of what we're looking for. So let me just double check this. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. So I really just think, is it just the 2 breaks or is there one more underneath there? I think it is just the 2 breaks. That's a good thing. No problem. We can handle this. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to try and break both these rocks with 1 consumable brand. So we're going to go ahead and crank this guy up a little bit. We're going to get this into the green. I fired the brand. Oh, she really jumped. I had kind of a lag spike there. No big deal. I just turned off the laser. Immediately killed the laser as soon as she lag spiked, and just got her under control. That's what you have to do. You're not everything's going to run smoothly. Occasionally, you're just going to get a big spike, and you just as soon as it jumps up and it feels like it's a little out of control, judgment's the better part of valor. There, just turn off the laser. Just turn it off. It's fine. You'll be fine. Don't be afraid to, flirt with the bottom of the optimal window, not the overcharge. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. So we're trying to rush. We got 46 seconds left. What we're trying to do is build up the energy 40, 41. We're trying to get up into the green before we're at 30 seconds. That's the trick to making sure that you can crack, more than 1 rock with 1 consumable, with 1 brand consumable for sure. So yeah, this is one of those things. We'll take back up to, we're going to settle in here around 22%. And for sure, I mean, it's easy peasy. Just kind of keeping an eye on it, keeping it honest. You can see that we got another 5 seconds left on the brand. 4, 3, 2, 1. So just at the tail end, when this guy's about to stop, we get the break. So, yep, that's what we're looking for there. Now, 45% of this was Quantanium, so let's go ahead and start doing our thing here. That's good that broke that cleanly there.
Extraction mode on.
That's a 79%. I am going to try and get, if there's any hundos here, I'm going to try and scoop those first. There may not be. But I don't know. It looks like there, it does look like it actually broke fairly clean. 64. Maybe one of them would be a good amount. Oh, not so much. All right. Well, we're just going to deal with what we have. So, there is an opportunity here to get around, 20 some SCU, but it just depends on how much of the, how much stuff we have to take on board here. I will at least look at these other rocks first. See if there's some pure. Yeah, we'll get to grab that hundo right there. That's a good hundo. That's a solid hundo for sure. We'll just keep working it here. Nice 100%er. That's a big rock right there. Nice chunk there. That's going to get us over 10 SCU for sure. Closer to 12. Love it. And a 60%er. What's this guy here? And that's nothing. So we'll grab that 60. I know that we have, you know, these other rocks that are back down this way, but there's not a whole lot left to scoop here, you guys. I mean, here's that 79. We're going to grab that guy. Alright, and then we're just going to kind of look here. We're going to break 20. There's a 64%er. Alright, and that doesn't have anything, and that doesn't have anything. Boy, there must... You almost think there must be one more rock in here somewhere. I might have missed that guy. There's a hundo right there. That's good. That'll get us up over 20. Interesting. I would have thought there would have been a little bit more down in here. This guy had nothing. Did we miss a yellow? No, that one had nothing. That one had nothing. Nothing there, nothing there. I don't think that had anything in it. So 22 SCU is what we ended up getting out of it. I thought there was a little better calculation in there, but no big deal. We'll just take that 22 SCU right to the bank and not even worry about it. Beautiful. You know, and obviously not every run's a unicorn. We know that. You know, anything that anytime you're getting north of 15 SCU, that is a very good run. You know, so we're happy about that, and we will take that back to the refinery and make do. So between the two runs, over 50 SCU, and of course, and we'll do final numbers here in just a sec. Firebrand asked an excellent question. Are you looking forward to salvaging in the Vulture? Absolutely, Firebrand. I mean, I will say I was just a touch disappointed with the Vulture laser situation. But you know, overall, what salvage brings to the game is going to be fantastic. I'm super excited about salvage. Super excited about the cargo refactor. I am really excited about 3.18. I know 3.17.1's upon us, but 3.18 is gonna. It'll be interesting to see if they hit that if they can do the cargo refactor, if they can get that cargo physicalized. That's going to be fantastic. Pyro says, just some Quantanium is better than an empty hold at the end of the day. Absolutely. I have this rule that I don't like to make the mining gods mad. Little superstitious old miner. Where if it's over 15 SCU, I scoop it. It is, you know, I mean, now, what I mean by that is you know, it's got to be somewhere between an 18 to 20, so if it breaks bad, you can still get it. But, you know, if you're bringing in over 15 SCU, you scoop it, you know. There are times where I've passed over that 15 SCU and spent the next 45 minutes flying around looking for stuff. So might as well just grab it, get it into the hopper. Not every run has to be a 30 SCU or a 32 SCU or a uni. Firebrand says those chipstick beans did look a little under. Yeah, you know, that's the thing. I mean, I was really hoping that the Vulture would kind of pull it in between those two kind of like claw-like things and then do something with it in between there. You know, like, that's just me. I'm not complaining. It may work out where I love that gameplay. I don't necessarily know. But when I see laser shooting out of those, I was like, what? That's weird to me. Just a little bit. I mean, but salvage itself, I'm super excited about. Brianna Joyce says, Cargo Refactor is going to be huge. Yeah, Cargo Refactor is going to change the game. And it also is going to let me know, here's the one thing I'm going to say to you guys that I truly believe in my heart, okay? If the Cargo Refactor comes out in 3.18, I do think that there's a chance that Pyro may come out by the end of the year or the first quarter of next year. If the Cargo Refactor slips and goes back one whole quarter, then I think we're gonna be a little bit more behind the 8 ball for Pyro. So that's what I am the Cargo Refactor plays an important role in my mind about how the rest of it all comes together, for sure. Pyro says, that's what I do. I usually just see around 16 SCU and I usually go for it. Exactly. You know, if it's north of 15 SCU, I just grab it for sure. Cyber Spooky, how are you? Nice to see you, Cyber. Pyro says, quick and easy money. You can fly around for an hour, nothing. Exactly. You've got to take the money. Phaedra says there's a super dense gravity field between the claws to crush that stuff. that goes between them. Yeah, I mean, something, you know, like that. I mean, if that's what it is, that's great. I mean, it's something. But the lasers were a little weird to me, though. You know, I was just like, what? Why are those shooting out of there? And that's just me. I'm not, you know, I definitely don't want to, you know, sound like a naysayer or whatever. I'm sure I'm going to like it. Definitely going to like salvage for sure. Gray Peter says, oh boy, let me just make sure I'm doing the right thing here, you guys. I just don't want to accidentally crash into the station again. I wasn't coming in too hot, but I just was hot enough where I just thought to myself, I better just make sure I'm doing the right thing here, so.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Just taking it. I haven't even heard first alarm yet, so this little dipsy doodle around the, you know, around didn't cost me anything, and I was coming in just a touch hot, and I didn't want to, definitely didn't want to treat Drac to the explosion he's always looking for on my stream. Sorry, Drac. No, not going to scrape the paint on the old station for you today. It's funny, you guys. Yes, I don't want to crash again. Heavens and stars, you know, I usually fly so darn good, and but I get chatting, and I sometimes just kind of lose track of things.
Landing complete.
Oh, it's so funny. All right, awesome. Let's do a post flight there. Go ahead and kill our lasers, and then we'll back out of the seat. And then Andre says, I wonder if 3.18 brings a wipe. Character reset. Have 10 terrapins, 5 Pisces. I think 3.17.1 will, right on. That's happening on Friday, Andreas. I do think, yeah. I mean, be careful. All of you, public service announcement, if you do have refining jobs in there, don't go any later than Friday. Don't do it. I think, you know, I think the patch is going to drop early Friday morning. So get your stuff hauled by Thursday for sure. And it could be sooner than that, I'm saying. I mean, you know, definitely be careful. You know, no boom boom. Yeah, exactly. That's right, Track. Be careful with your refining jobs, everybody, because understand 17.1 is coming, and they will wipe, more than likely wipe. Now, I can't remember between 16 and 16.1 if they wiped, but I think they did. I think that's the ones where Razor and I kind of went out the night before and like got like a mole load and just said, heck, we'll just see if maybe they won't do this thing, and then they ended up doing it or whatever. Geesley, nice to see you. Crystal, how are you, Crystal? Crystal says morning. Guys, nice to see you, Crystal, for sure.
Vehicle retrieval system.
We are going to store right here. And so, let's see here. Store. Uh-oh. Hey, we might have 30K'd, you guys. Got some funny activity going on. Will be interesting. Let me check the B-win. Ooh, it's hanging on. It's barely hanging on. You guys, what's going on? Here, I'll try this one.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Store, please. Hey, there we go. Stored. Look at that thing over there, still kind of acting funny. No big deal. We got a store going. Yeah, Geesley, how you doing today, Geesley? Nice to see you. Brandon Joy says at Drac. There's still a chance for the rogue elevators to get them. There's definitely still a chance. The rogue elevators can get me for sure. Andrea says, I'm only doing bunkers and deliveries until the patch. Yeah, I mean, we talked about that earlier. That's an excellent thing to do with your time. You know, between now, because you could potentially, like, get yourself some new aerial armor colors, you know, and just cool armor in general, so. Yeah, so let me just do this. I'm going to tab that back out. 0, turn that back off. Geesley says, I've had issues with Fleet Manager all day. Yeah, I mean, it had been working pretty good for me, but it just got a little sideways there for a minute, right? For sure. Good, brother. Good, Geesley. Nice, man. That's awesome. And so, you know, I will say, you know, had a lot of new faces on here today, and I really do love that. You know, I absolutely adore it, you know, when new people come on board. I so much appreciate that you guys do what you do, chat with the new people who come on board, offer your opinions, and be just kind of there and you know, and helpful. You guys are, like, literally have the best people that come to the stream on a regular basis. I know how blessed I am, and I want you to know how much I appreciate all of you, truly. Like, you guys make the stream, okay? Absolutely make the stream. So I am going to go, you know, one scary Dynex Solvenation. Hopefully they don't drop the patch early on Thursday. You know, I'm banking on a Friday morning, but I am going to give you guys some final numbers for the stream today. And so let's look at those really quickly. I had a nice 30-40. So that is your uni, and then I had a 2110. So that's 5150 times 88. And so 5150 times 88. That's 453,000 AUEC since I jumped on earlier. And so this is kind of the one thing I always like to do to kind of at the end of the stream here is just say a couple of things. Number one, you know, the water was delicious. The Quantanium was great. The company was better. You guys know how much I truly do appreciate you. I wish I had a little more time tonight. I don't. You know, I've got family things and other things just happening and that type of thing. So I did 2 runs tonight. I really do appreciate all of you. I hope that you have a lovely day. Please take care of yourselves. And hey, next week I will mention to you guys who are hanging out still, I'm going to be doing a lot of streaming. I'm off work. Going to be doing a lot of streaming around Orison, around Fleet Week, just kind of, you know, having some fun with that stuff. I definitely am going to be doing some mining as well, but on the other side of the verse, maybe some Daymar, some Selin, some Yella, who knows, you know, some stuff that we don't normally do. So, Crystal, don't even worry about it. I hope, you know, I hope that you're all doing well. Please take care of yourself. If you have any questions, look me up on Discord. You know, I'm always happy to help you guys. So, please, take care of yourself. And I will see you all around the verse.